You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on your smart.
To FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tony Basilio proudly brings to you the Tuesday edition. And we welcome you in. We're fired up, folks, and prepared. Kudos to Alex Myers last night, who ran the show like I would have with an itchy trigger finger for all the Maroons that are out there. It's been a day of everybody snapping on everybody since the Oklahoma game. And, Matt, nothing like a good loss like that, you know, to get everybody at each other's throats. And that's where we are as I bring TGMD on a day where John Adams joins us. And here's the question for today. Aren't we overreacting just a little bit to the Oklahoma loss? I mean, people are telling me yesterday that Josh Heupel's lost the program, and I got a few texts from people today saying, well, you know, I'm talking to people inside the program, and he's lost the program. And, I mean, look, no offense to you, but this ain't my first rodeo, and I've been around here 30 years, and I've seen a lot of coaches that have allegedly lost the program who haven't lost the program. But you only get those texts and those calls after you lose games. All those games when you were winning ugly and committing all those penalties and doing all those silly things that this guy's program has done, but they got away with, you loved him. So don't be a hypocrite, okay? And all this stuff about, and I dealt with it today in the blog because that's what we do. And I called it out today. Those of you that are like making fun of this guy's appearance or calling him a hobo and saying that he, looks like Chumlee from Pawn Stars and he dresses like a guy on that you would flip a buck to on the street. I mean, come on now. Let's be better. Can we be better than that? John, are you surprised that people are talking about this man's appearance and stuff like that after losing the game? Or is that kind of par for the course and how it goes when you lose and you get eliminated in the modern era?
Oh, it's very much par for the course. But it's not as though it's that bizarre when you consider the background and track record for college football fans.
Yep.
I can remember the first year I was here, and I'd worked in other places like in my home area in Baton Rouge. I was a columnist there for 5 years. Been in Jackson, Mississippi, Jacksonville, Florida. So I'm familiar with a lot of different fan bases, SEC fan bases in particular. So I know how they react. But still, I was taken aback somewhat. It was 87 was my first year here. I forgot Tennessee's record that year, probably around 9-2, something like that.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good year. But after a loss, and I don't remember which one.
Yeah.
Didn't have email back then. Somebody had left me a voice message. Johnny Majors should be fired. I mean, it was just, I thought it was.
Are they kidding? And you're people kidding or?
No, he was serious. But I'm saying that I'm familiar with this, but even as familiar as I am with it, that still caught me a little bit off guard. It was that extreme. But if you go back to where Majors was at that point,
yeah,
85, he'd just won the SEC championship. 86 wasn't a drop-off.
Yeah.
The program, he'd been there a while and hadn't been a great run. And when Johnny Majors came here from Pittsburgh, people expected a national title in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
He won one at Pittsburgh. He won a national championship there. He built a program that was at the very bottom of college football and made it into the program.
At Pitt.
At Pitt.
Out of nowhere.
I mean.
In like 4 years.
Yes.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. He took it. It wasn't just good. It was dominant. It was exciting, entertaining, and so all that kind of stuff. But so this is just the way it goes. But what's happened here, and I wrote my SEC newsletter this week on how Clark Lee at Vanderbilt should be the most hated coach among his peers for what he's done. Because this really helps fuel this instant anger, instant rejection of that everything is wrong.
Matt, our guy made a playoff last year. Yesterday we were talking about how he has a 5 o'clock shadow from September on, and he dresses like a slob. And multiple callers, Matt, and people over here on YouTube and people on Twitter, and I'm like, well, and then people text me going, well, he's lost the program. I mean, and Bino's like, look, if you want to be out on a guy, be out on a guy. You don't talk about his physical appearance. But, Matt, this is what we do when we decouple from people. What's up with our fan base? Why are we overreacting? Are we overreacting, Matt, to that loss the other night?
Yeah, but like John said, it's what fan bases do. You overreact to the negative, and you don't appreciate the positives and the wins quite enough. But that's not a Tennessee problem. It's just kind of I don't know. It's just a sports problem, really. And I'm guilty of it a lot of the times too.
You know what? You know what a flyer podcaster called it? Because I like watching the Flyers, and they're terrible, and they've made the playoffs in a few years, but I still enjoy them, and it's kind of like what I do, and I grew up watching it, and whatever, to each his own. Guy called it trophy culture last night. He said we've made sports all about if you don't win the trophy at the end of the year, you've had a bad season. He said that is total horse manure. Well, like you can't enjoy something like this year. So, you know what people were telling us the other night, John? Because you had a brief cameo. People said, somebody said, Tony, you're the one that said he looks like Chumley yesterday. Yeah, I said he's always reminded me of Chumley. But I didn't say his teams are sloppy because he looks sloppy. I didn't say that. So don't pin that on me.
What?
I did say he reminds me of Chumley from Pawn Stars in a very endearing way. He's always reminded me of Chumley. Or maybe like Jughead from Goober and the Ghost Chasers. But I'm not ripping the guy. Look, I look like any of a myriad of Muppets, depending on the day. Today I look like a tired, worn-out, red-ass Muppet for you. And you really want to know? All right, let's go back. So, John, here's the thing. This whole championship trophy culture thing is a great way of putting it. I heard Anthony Sanfilippo say this in Philly, one of my fellow Paisans. And trophy culture is a great way of looking at it. Like, it's the equivalent of saying that Rick Barnes here, okay, hasn't had a great run because we haven't gotten to the Final Four. 2 Elite Eights in school history, okay? There was one when he got here. He's been to 2 of them now. John, does that diminish Rick Barnes in any way that he hasn't hung a banner over there in Thompson Bowling Arena? Which, by the way, depending on where you're sitting, because of Danny White's Dumbotron, you might be able to see it or you might not, depending on which end zone you're in. Hey, Danny, let them eat cake. What are you doing with your new Jumbotron where my son's in the 13th row last night and he can't see the other basket, Danny? He's in the 13th row of the upper deck. What are you doing? Are you trying just to run people out of there? Are you telling the plebes that they're the plebes and you don't need them? I mean, what are we doing, Danny? No offense. But go ahead, John, as I was saying.
Well,
championship culture.
Going back
or trophy culture.
Going back to where I was, though, it's always existed to some degree. Everybody, even when I first watched college football, wanted to be number one. Everybody wanted to chant, we're number one. Everybody can't be number one, but that's what everybody wants. It's a dream. But now people like Clark Lee to go to Vanderbilt and you're in November? You're in November and you're playing in the SEC and you're Vanderbilt and you are still alive in the playoff hunt. Everybody looks at that like, well, if Vanderbilt can do it, why can't you? Why can't anybody? Indiana with Kirk Cignetti was a basketball school.
Oh, gosh.
Imagine if...
How many guys is he going to get fired, John?
Oh, imagine if Kentucky would have done what... If he'd have gone to Kentucky and done what he's done at Indiana. How many more coaches would have already been fired in the SEC? But, they're winning at places you aren't supposed to win. So it's part of the... NIL transfer portal, it's made different teams, players, championship contenders, and that's the world in which we live now. And more people are going to get fired. But the thing is, at some point, you really do run out of money. At some point, you just can't keep firing guys and paying them a
It's
buyout.
dumb. And like Matt said the other night, because Matt and I were talking about this before this happened. He goes, "We lose this game, we're going to have all this moronic. You got to change your coach talk." And listen, it's moronic. I mean, let's have a conversation here. Hey, Matt, if Tennessee's job opened right now, okay, like some of these idiots want to happen, how far down the pecking order would we be? And how far down our list would we go before we hired a coach? We might end up with Jeremy Pruitt back here. I mean, do people understand that, Matt? Do they have any perspective on what they're saying? Any perspective?
This would be a really bad year to have a coaching search. Absolutely, and a lot of schools and fan bases are gonna find that out probably the hard way over the next couple of years. But and I don't know if we necessarily call for a guy to get fired and want to change, but I mean obviously it's frustrating to the way the team's lost this year.
Sure.
You've kind of beat yourself more than you've gotten beat. But it's no, I mean this would be a really bad year to be in Auburn or in that Auburn, Florida, which is kind of where Tennessee's at in some the pecking order, so to speak.
Yeah.
You're kind of one of those teams, and this is I think a bad year to be one of those teams that's going to have a coaching search.
You rarely ever get the guy you want, even if it's normal.
That's
if there's
exactly
not
right.
that many openings out there, you rarely ever get the guy you want. You're always underwhelmed. Imagine this year.
And these days, Sean, you mentioned the guy at Indiana. The guy's got like a $90 million guaranteed contract. He's unhireable. Like, Texas isn't going to hire that guy. Like, who's going to hire that guy? All these guys, though, all of them. Like, everybody says, here's the thing yesterday. Well, this guy makes $10 million a year and he looks like a bum. John, what do football coaches look like by and large? No offense to football coaches. What do they look like, John?
Well, I'm not saying
Like
they all.
university professors, doctors, attorneys, talk show hosts.
Oh, well, here's the thing: when things go sideways and you lose a game, there's just and I also think the increased betting on games, that has a big factor in this. You have people now following. As popular as college football is in the Southeast, and it's king in the Southeast, as popular as it is, you still have some newbies to the party. You have some people that really weren't that interested in it, and now they're betting on games. I had somebody say, we got to get a new kicker. Okay?
Yeah, got to get a new kicker.
Adam Sparks on our staff looked it up.
Yeah.
He's the most accurate kicker Tennessee's ever had.
Till it matters.
Well,
John. Okay, if I said to you, you're going to get like a stomach virus if he misses this kick, okay, would you want him kicking that or Jeff Hall, who's allegedly 15 points less than him on the charts, for your stomach virus? Who you want kicking the kick?
yeah, I want Jeff Hall.
Thank you. Okay, well, that's all. I mean, we're just, but you are right.
But what I'm saying is, other than you talk about, you missed a field goal against Oklahoma, and that was exacerbated by the fact that this guy in short pants for Oklahoma, Tate Sandell, is kicking the ball out of stadiums.
Yes,
he looks like he's in the NFL the way he's kicking the ball.
By the way, I've got a viewing. We're going to do a little thing this year, Matt. I really want to track Stephen F. and Pearl this year after last night.
What happened last night with you?
They had a directional school cream puff they opened with and went to overtime. And because Stephen F. and Pearl's team went out and committed a foul on a 3-point
at half court
on a 3-point shot, and the guy made all 3 shots. Who was the opponent, Bri?
Bethune-Cookman is who they played.
Oh, they went
They
to
did end up
overtime.
winning in overtime, but that's not the point.
And Dave is all over. He's all over Barnes. Dave declared 5 wins for last night. Hey, Dave. You need to calm yourself down, brah. I mean, I understand committing to the bit, and here's what the kid in Wisconsin says. about me. He says, I'm not here to tell you what to think, but you're all morons. Classic TB. Good Christ. I mean, no offense to you. Is he talking about Brian Rice? Is he talking about Brian Rice? Is he saying I got riced? What does that mean, Matt? But Brian Rice? All right, we'll come back on the other side. I don't tell anybody how to think. I never have. It's not my style, man. Are we overreacting a little bit to this?
I think you just overreacted.
Are we overreacting to the Oklahoma loss? And, hey, people, listen. People are already saying that Josh Heupel's, after the season, not going to change any coaches on his coaching staff if they go 7-5. Leslie yesterday was in full freak-out mode over a loss to Vanderbilt that hasn't happened. She declared, John, that if they lose to Vanderbilt, she's going to fire up her fire pit and throw her Tennessee gear from this era in her fire pit like she burned articles of clothing. What were they, Bri? What were the shirts she burned?
She burned the Ite shirt that Jeremy Pruitt had.
Ite. And I think some Butch Please garments, too, from the Butch Jones era.
I'd burn some asparagus in honor of Jeremy Pruitt.
Imagine what that smelled like. You ever get it? You eat asparagus?
Yeah, occasionally.
You get that asparagus, you know what?
No.
Begins with a P after this. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land? Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next-level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each. Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com, or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect,
you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East Tennessee lately. From Memphis, Chattanooga, and Birmingham, they've stormed into the area. Wouldn't you rather do business with a local firm? You know, a true neighbor. Marcos Garza and the pros at the Garza Law Firm are just that. There are neighbors and friends that support local causes year-round. The Garza Law Firm works to serve you professionally on criminal matters, injuries and accident matters, and Social Security and disability filings. The Garza Law Firm is here for you at garzalaw.com. The Garza Law Firm. Let us help.
TB here with Alan of WeShipFloors.com. Tell them about it, Alan.
Hey, I'm Alan from WeShipFloors.com. Our competition's prices, well, they're going up. Ours are coming down. Our waterproof floor Supercore is the best, and right now it starts at $199 a square foot. Our warehouses are full of 4mm, 6mm, and 8mm. You strapped for cash? Well, we have our own in-house financing. Use our room visualizer and order some free samples today. Supercore from WeShipFloors.com. Best products at best price.
Like Alan said, head over to WeShipFloors.com. Use the room visualizer on the website. Drop in any of the 120 Supercore floors virtually into your room and order your free samples today. WeShipFloors.com. Tennesseans, they are us. The best product, the best price. WeShipFloors.com. Say it loud and say it proud. WeShipFloors.com. Back with you on a Tuesday. All right, the We Ship Floors Hardwood Report. And remember, the room visualizer, you drop in what you can see. It's unbelievable, Andy. WeShipFloors.com. They'll ship anywhere in the world free. Stay out of those freaking big box stores. They your enemy. He your friend. All right, so John Adams is here, presented by Jennifer Morris, NextMoveSmokyMountains.com. Are we overreacting to the Oklahoma game? Matt, am I overreacting to the Dumbotron that is, the Dumbotron is so low that my son in the 13th row last night, and John, I just showed you the photo, so we're not acting like it's a Zapruder film. Matt, as part of, this is our hardwood report. We're not talking about the basketball game. We're talking about the fact that Danny White's got a, what is he doing? Did his crowd control people hang from football earlier in the year? Did they hang his scoreboard? I mean, what are we only here? You've got a scoreboard in an opulent arena where half the people in there can't see the other end of the floor. What are we doing? Matt, do you find that to be true? Because you were at the Duke game. Talk to me.
Yeah, we were at the Duke game. We were in the 300 section. I can't remember what row, but it was really a low. It was like the second or third, maybe fourth row. I can't remember. But we could see all of the court, but not by much. And it was very obvious the top half of the upper deck, you have obstructed views of part of the court. And in some areas, like half the court.
John, and
the new Jumbotron's a lot bigger than the one used to be, and it's a whole lot lower.
Yep.
And the thing I thought was crazy was, despite all that, the numbers on it are actually smaller than they were last year. So it's actually still harder to see. It's just bigger and lower to the court. But I think probably 20% of the seats, maybe more, have obstructed views of the court, and that's that's not acceptable.
Is that possible, John?
20% of the seats in the upper deck, or
no, in the whole
in
the whole arena.
The skybox, 30. What about the skyboxes? Can they see from there?
My son was in the 13th row, okay, in the upper deck, and so he says you literally cannot see the other basket. It's like a rumor. They go to the other end of the court, and you're just. And he said, like Matt said, he said the screen is not as good as it used to be. Like, so you can't even really kind of. I don't understand what they're going for. Are they just going to like drop the tarp and warp the stadium down? And
so,
did anybody test it? Danny, what are we doing?
Did they go around the arena to see?
That's what I'm saying. I realize he wouldn't be caught dead with the plebeians, but did anybody go into the upper deck and go, "Hey, what about the Marie Antoinette section? Let them eat cake." I mean, what are we doing?
So they can't see a basketball. The basketball is shot, and some of the fans can't see whether it goes in or not.
That would be correct.
Well, they can tell by the roar or the crowd from people who can see. So it's not like they don't know what's happening.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your We Ship Floors Hardwood Report. Congratulations to Danny White. We're not talking about the season opener. We're talking about the fact that we've gotten reports from multiple people, and now Matt Dixon corroborates that, well, you got people in your arena, well, maybe a few thousand on each side that, well, can't see the goal. But other than that, they're going to have a really good experience when they go to games this winter and into the spring. But let's go to the phones. Are we overreacting to the Oklahoma loss is the topic. We're going to the TLD Logistics phone lines. John, aren't we overreacting just a wee bit? We want Josh Heupel's job all of a sudden, and he can't coach, and the team plays like a slob, and this, that, and the other.
Well, I've gotten some of those same kind of emails, but I haven't gotten anybody sending an email saying Josh Heupel needs to be fired. I'm sure some people think that, but once you fire a coach and pay him all that money, whom are you going to hire in today's climate? I mean, James Franklin won a lot of games at Penn State. Talk about overreacting. People basically overreacted there. Just think, imagine if Tennessee would have lost to a winless UCLA team quarterbacked by none other than Nico Yamaleava. Which, by the way, where do you think he'll play next year?
Tell him, hey Matt, tell him where Mark in the Lumbo thinks he's going to play. This is one of my favorite Mark in the Lumbo bets.
It's going to be Lane Kiffin's quarterback at Ole Miss.
I actually thought that.
God, Mark in the Lumbo! If that happens, guys, I will throw a party. I will literally throw a party in the winter when that happens, and you all are invited. We'll do like a crawfish boil or something. Let's go to the phones on the TLD Logistics phone lines. Are we overreacting just a tad to the Oklahoma loss? Yeah, the Vols are eliminated from playoffs. If Tennessee gets home at 9-3 this year, it's an A-level coaching job. I will give that man a letter A for everything that's happened here. You've lost all those people on your defense, and you lost your quarterback in May. Nobody signs up for that, but we give no grace here. I don't know why. I mean, and then all of a sudden the guy's a hobo. He's a coaching hobo. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Hey, what's going on, Tone? Who's your ball runner?
Hey, Ryan, welcome in.
Okay, short answer, yes, we're overreacting. I'm going to throw a few things, if you permit me. Lane, to me, this gets down to two coaches on what's really grinded on people other than the loss, right? I think it's Lane Kiffin and Kurt Signetti. Now, do y'all know what Lane Kiffin's record is in the last 4 years? That's 2021 to 2024. I bet Brian Hartman could guess.
No.
But
how many games? Give me the number of games, and let's try to guess.
39 and 13.
Oh.
39 and 13.
Well, he gave
me the record. Do you know what Josh Heupel's record is from 2021 to 2024?
What is it?
37 and 15. That's a 2-game difference. And Lane Kiffin lost to 3 coaches, 2 of which are fired last year to miss the playoffs. And the other one, Mark Stoops, it's like him and Kentucky are like people that haven't lived together for 3 years but are too lazy, or it's not financially convenient to get divorced, so they're technically married. But he's a fired coach, essentially. And, yeah, the games count for Heupel, but that has to count, too, that we don't look at the flaws in the other coaches. Now, he needs to get better, but everybody does need to relax.
Thank you.
I mean, you want that handsome guy that's real quotable? Maybe he'd do better here. But their record is the same the last 4 years, effectively.
Well, Mark,
and when it comes to Kurt's, go ahead.
Well, excuse
Who's
me.
your Val Ryan? Go ahead.
What did I call it?
Mark.
Oh, we're talking Mark. Yeah, Ryan. Ryan, I'm sorry. Apologize.
No, that's all right.
People at Tennessee expect to be better than Ole Miss. Ole Miss is part of the problem. So is Vanderbilt. People don't expect Vanderbilt to be in playoff contention, and they don't expect Ole Miss to make the playoff. If you look at the history the last 50 years at those places, and so that factors into it. There's the mentality, well, if those guys can do it there, and I think that's why Lane Kiffin is perceived so well. If he can do that at Ole Miss, well, what can he do at Florida? What can he do at LSU?
And Matt, do you agree with that? That
the same.
That those guys. Here's my thing. I came to a realization when I walked out of here yesterday. Because Saturday night, people were more exhausted than really angry about the game because it's exhausting. The whole thing is you're over there all day and you're just fried. And we're talking in the wee small hours of the morning. The Monday comes around and we have just an angry, people are just snapping out on each other. Bino and the big Josh guy were screaming at each other in the third hour yesterday. Big Josh was letting it rip and Bino got right back in his face, and and that's what happens when you lose these games. Matt, if I came to a realization yesterday, if Danny White and Josh Heupel want to be in a new reality, lose to Vanderbilt and let Vanderbilt go to the playoffs out of your building, because our fan base, if that happens, Matt, will be on full snap alert. I think that would be one of the darkest post-game shows we've ever had if that happens. Now, I'm not sure Vanderbilt's going to get there intact. Generally speaking, they probably screw it up this weekend against Auburn, and that's just another pretty good football game among two good teams. But, Matt, the conclusion I came to is lose to Vanderbilt, and this fan base is going to lose its mind. Am I right or wrong in that?
No, you're right. That's correct.
Well,
that's what I walked out of here. I didn't realize that.
Sure.
But
Heupel needs to beat Vanderbilt here.
You better win that game.
Absolutely.
Because it's going to hang over him way worse than that Ohio State game did. I mean, way worse. I'm telling Danny White and Josh Heupel right now, you guys better figure out a way to beat Vanderbilt in your own building, and you guys better pray like crazy that game is not for a playoff berth for Vanderbilt, because if it is, Danny, your 24,000 fictitious seat waiting list that doesn't exist is going to get a real challenge like it never has. And Josh, you're going to wake up in a new Bugatti, brother. You're going to be in a new reality. Don't lose that game.
Ryan makes another good point in his comparison he's comparing Kiffin. I was looking at it from a little bit different. Kiffin's not the only guy who's sought after. Yeah. Eli Drinkwitz has done a really nice job at Missouri. He's done better than I thought he would. But I checked the records with Eli Drinkwitz and Josh Heupel. If I were an AD anywhere in America and I had to choose my next hire between Eli Drinkwitz and Josh Heupel, Josh Heupel has a better track record. Eli Drinkwitz never made the playoff. Josh Heupel has. Josh Heupel's
he got his one time. He lost to Pruitt. He got trucked by Jeremy Pruitt.
You know what our fans care about right now? That's all these people care about, John.
Well, I know, but
last year didn't happen. And when I try to say, but last year, and they're going to call me a sheep, okay? Last year you went 10-2 with a quarterback that couldn't play. Do we agree on that? Couldn't play.
Yes.
Okay. And then the big sin was that the people at the NCAA align the playoff in the dumbest way possible, and put the Vols on the field with the heavyweight champion of the world. When the Vols were like a light heavyweight last year, Tennessee wasn't ready for that game last year.
But go back again. Let's go. We've talked about this before, but
it's not their fault.
But go back to that game. Going into that game, Ohio State fans. We just talked about this last week.
Yeah,
they wanted to fire Ryan Day.
That's right.
They were getting ready to go on an epic playoff run, and they wanted to fire Ryan Day.
John, the sport's so crazy that even after the game, I had people that live up there saying that they were still talking about terminating him.
Whom did they think they would hire?
The Michigan game.
But whom would they hire?
It doesn't matter. They just wanted to pound the flesh. This guy can't beat Michigan. Yes, so he won a national championship. So what? Should never lost to Michigan. Should never lost to Michigan. I mean, it's... Go ahead. You go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry. I'm wordy today. No, I'm wordy.
Out the door. No, out the door, guys. Kurt Signetti. No, I'm the Hoosier Vol Ryan. I'm so happy for my alma mater. Anyone that knows me when I watch football will tell I'm way more emotional during the Vols games because I'm really a Vol football fan. As happy as I am for Indiana, it pains my heart how much better of a coach Kurt Signetti is than Josh Heupel. It pains my heart that this is happening. I'm glad it's happening at IU, but I so wish it could happen at Tennessee. It's one of the most amazing things you'll ever see. You can look up articles about it. He's winning 90% clip at a place that averages 40%. No one's ever done that wide of a margin. Here's my question to you guys. 2 years ago, Josh Heupel goes to Oklahoma. After a good run, they say, Heupel, come home, and he does. Or he goes to the NFL, like people talked about. Mm-hmm. We hired James Madison's coach, Kurt Signetti. What are all our fans saying that day?
Oh, they're freaking out. See that,
and he might be the second, or he's the second best coach in America. I'll say it. Other than Kirby Smart, he's the second best coach in America.
Thank you. Here's the problem, and Matt was talking about this last week. It's time for ADs to start thinking about, and C was saying this too. It's not important to win the press conference. When they hired this Lady Vols coach, Kim Caldwell, people were laughing. It's not important to win the press conference. It's important to find somebody that's the right coach for your deal in all these situations. And when you hire Kim Caldwell, you can actually save money for your athletic department and put the money in your roster. When you hire a Kurt Signetti on the front end, you can actually save money for your athletic department and put the money in your roster. At some point, Jimmy Sexton has to start losing here at some point. And I don't know what the point is because it's not right now. But this concept of me giving you failure money when you're walking in the door and I'm already negotiating your buyout, I would look at Jimmy Sexton, Trace Armstrong, and all these guys, John, and go, why are we talking about your client failing? Let's stop this, Jimmy. You've pillaged us for years. You've made generations and generations of the Sextons rich. And Jimmy, no offense to you, but I'm speaking the truth here. You've bent these people over. Every one of them. And at some point, they've got to say, Jimmy, we're not doing that. If your guy wants the job, you take the job. What are we doing, John? How do we get here?
I had to write a column in advance that runs this Sunday, and it's on this very topic, and we talked about it last week on the show about how you invest your money. Failure money is not the way to go. But look at it this way. Would you rather have, ask yourself, would you rather have the best coach in the country and the 50th best roster?
Yep.
Or would you rather have the best roster and the 50th best coach? To that point, LSU had one of the all-time best teams in college football in 2019. Mm-hmm. It went 15-0. Mm-hmm. It was a dominant team. Two future Hall of Fame NFL wide receivers, Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow at quarterback. Mm-hmm. Does anybody think Ed Orgeron was a top, I don't know, he's the top 50 coach? I wouldn't have thought so. But he helped with
he
those
had
simple.
a dummy headset.
Yeah, he had dummy headset on. I'm not even sure it was plugged in.
But I wanted today to be. How about this? You take the best high school football coach in Texas.
Texas Tech did it. We looked it up last week.
Art Briles.
Art Briles.
Art Briles did it at Baylor. Yeah. At Houston first, did it at Baylor.
How about the Texas Tech guy? He is a high school coach.
Yeah, you take the
and
best.
He's rolling because they built
got the roster. So if you do that, you get the best high school coach in Texas. You pay $2 million, and he goes, "My ship's come in.
Yeah,
I'm good forever."
Yeah,
I'll take that. Oh, we're not giving you a buyout. Huh, buyout? Are you kidding me? You're going to pay me $2 million this year? I don't care about a buyout. So what if he fails? He goes back to coaching high school football in Texas.
That's the point. And I think this Signetti guy proves if you do your homework, you can find football coaches. And I'll tell you something else.
Google him. That's his quote.
Let me ask you this, Matt. Matt, do you believe that goofball Dabo Swinney is a great football coach, Matt? All that winning he did at Clemson. Do you believe that, Matt?
I mean, he has to be a great. I mean, I know what you're saying, but for him, because he assembled the elite coaching staff and players over that time. Now he's not a great coach anymore because he's chosen not to be, but at one point in time he was. But I know what you're saying about him being like an X's and O's guy. No, he's never called plays. He was the wide receiver coach and then the interim. And then they gave him the job, and he kind of took it and built the thing. But
what? Okay.
To answer John's question about the 50th best roster, the best coach, all that, it comes down to what your goals are. Like if you're wanting to win, make playoffs and win playoff games and compete in playoffs, you want the best roster possible. If you're wanting to just be a 7 to 9 win program like a Wisconsin or somebody, you want the coach who can develop, that 50th roster and into being the 30th best team. So your priorities of what your goals are kind of dictate what you want in your head coach and roster.
And the weirdest thing about the sport right now is just because you spend doesn't mean you win. And I'm going to go to your LSU guys again. I'm going to make this comparison. They spent like drunken sailors in the offseason, and it all turned to dirt. It's Miami. Miami came here and bought a luxury item off Tennessee's roster. That's how much money they were spending. At the end of May, Tennessee didn't even think the offer for that kid was real. They kind of laughed at the agent, and he just went into the portal and showed up at Miami. They already have 2 losses.
Kirby Smart still laughing over there paying Carson Beck $4 million. Kirby's better off with the guy he had as a backup last year.
And they're in by the way, and John's right, and they're in the ACC.
And they're out of the
playoffs. Like Nick Saban said, you buy the players, you better buy the right players or you're SOL. You hire a coach, those of you that want to fire this guy, you better get the right one or you're SOL. And this is the kind of stuff that's driving me crazy, and then we'll go back to the phones. This is from a... Go ahead, Bri.
I just wanted to say that I think the worst thing that Heupel did was that Georgia game was so competitive that, and that's why the loss stings, that everyone thought, well, they can run the table, go 11-1. And if they just gone out and lost to Georgia by a couple scores, maybe you wouldn't feel as angst right now and as mad as they do. But they saw what they did against Georgia, and expectations probably went too high.
Well, also, there were so many contributing factors to this. But again, it's just the Georgia game was a great game. Tennessee lost it.
Yeah.
Kicker missed the field goal.
Yep.
His game management wasn't great, but he's going against the best game manager in college football. Kirby Smart on game day usually, for what it's worth, outsmarts the other guy. It's just usually how it goes. Mm-hmm. But the other games, Alabama game, so he loses by, 17?
Yeah.
But it wasn't a blowout loss.
No.
So, and Tennessee has been losing in blowouts to Alabama for a long time and to Georgia.
Yeah. On the road.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because you're beating them in your building.
You're
This guy
but
gets
not,
no
you're
credit
not
for
beating
that.
Georgia.
This guy gets no credit, by the way, for the winning and going 50-50 against Florida and Alabama in his building all of a sudden. That's out the window. That can never happen.
I think also the way you lose to Oklahoma.
Yeah.
We talk about with Heupel because he has one game that's inexplicable every year.
Yeah. Which one is it this year?
It's the Oklahoma game. Here's why.
Okay,
even though it's at home, Oklahoma is a handicapped football team. It has no offense. Doesn't really run the ball well. Its offense consistent. It's the old LSU Matt Mock offense of quarterback draw.
Yeah.
It's Oklahoma's version of that. John Mateer, I like the guy. He plays hard as he can. He doesn't care if he gets hurt.
Yeah.
He's all in. He's trying to win one for the Gipper.
Yeah.
I really like John Mateer, but he's playing with a broken hand.
He's not a serious player, though.
But
I like him, too.
I do, but he was a much better player before he broke the bone in his hand.
Yeah.
So you look at that offense, and as bad as Tennessee's defense is, it can hang with that offense. It's not going to get steamrolled by that offense. In those first half stats, 255 to 90 yards, and Tennessee's not in control of the game. The way Tennessee lost that game, I had an emailer guy said, that R. Mason Thomas, he made a great play, but how could nobody tackle him? He's limping down the side.
Well, Bino made a great point. Everybody quit running. It's obvious when a guy is limping down the field. I mean, nobody's chasing him. He walked into the end zone for the last 15 yards. I mean, you never see that.
My emailer said, and he was being facetious, but it's funny. He was saying, yeah, well, I've taken some self-defense courses. I've been studying some martial arts. I think I could have found a way to get him down. It might have cost me a personal foul, but I think I could have got him down. No, I told him you would have been trampled by him, but still, it's a good thought. But that was such a game-changing play. Kind of like the interception at the end of the first half against Alabama.
Is it really fair to compare Oklahoma to losing to Arkansas or South Carolina? No, I mean, look, you lose. Everybody loses. Matt, is that fair to call that?
No, they're very comparable teams.
Really?
I mean, John talks about Oklahoma's offense struggling. Tennessee's defense is equally as bad, maybe a little worse. They've just been opportunistic. I mean, look at power rankings. I mean, Tennessee was like a 2.5-point favorite at home, so it's kind of a toss up. If on neutral side, it's about a pick 'em, and they're two pretty evenly matched teams with obvious flaws and some pretty obvious strengths as well. And Oklahoma's strengths just kind of won out, and they made they turned Tennessee over, which they hadn't done all year.
All right, we got to go back to the phones. I've lost total control of this show already, which is really sad. Timothy McGee over on YouTube says the following: how about a JUCO head coach? They know how to develop a roster for 18 months, and then you turn your players over. And I mean, yeah, in the old days, I'd say yes. But Timothy, here's the thing: junior college football, Division I football is now junior college football. You don't have your guys for 2 years. These rosters.
Yeah, but his point is accurate though. You get a guy that is good, and now you do this at the FCS level in the lower echelons of FBS.
Yeah.
You bring in all these new guys. You lose all your players. You bring in new guys.
Yeah.
And you assemble them and try to get them as a team. Yeah, it's a very good point.
Thank you, Timothy. It's a great point.
Why are you moving my camera around?
Because you're looking at me now. Hello and welcome. You know why? Because I'm photogenic and beautiful. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
That's your best line of the day.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi, you're on
John,
the air.
John, you do look damn good, buddy. You're right.
No, Tony was talking about himself.
Well, that too.
Okay.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Hey, I have a bunch of stuff, but start out with your question about 50 best coach and best roster and all that. And I think it's a great question, but I will say this. One, I think Signetti's the best coach in America, better than Kirby. I don't care about national championships because you won it in Georgia when they were loaded with talent and were already really, really good and all that. Signetti is the man. He wins everywhere he goes, and he does it by being a jerk, and his guys play flawless. Their roster isn't as good as about 20 other teams in college football, but they make no mistakes. They execute perfectly every play. They are flawless. And so sometimes a great coach can make a little bit less roster better. Talent's important, but your talent not blowing assignments is just as important. I heard somebody yesterday say that great players don't make as many mistakes. That there's not truth to that. Great players don't get beat on a pass rush when they're blocking a guy. Bad players won't be able to block a certain player. But blocking the wrong guy, a great player can do that. Mental mistakes are part of it.
You make a really good point, and I agree with you on Indiana. Not only does Indiana, and you know what? Vanderbilt sometimes does it the same way. It's not as good as Indiana.
Yep, they do.
But they're pretty sound in their offense. They didn't play that way against Texas. They played old Vanderbilt football against Texas, and that's why they lost. Still almost pulled it out miraculously. But those are really good points. I still think, though, and with Indiana, it also has this take no prisoners attitude. Indiana goes out on the field like it's a superpower, and it's like Michael Jordan playing for the Bulls, and it has to show everybody, I'm the best player in the world. I'm here. I'm going to show it to you. I don't care what the score is. I've just got to prove it, because I've been watching Indiana. Yeah, same thing. Here, one more thing. I still go back, the 2010 Auburn team that won a national championship with Cam Newton at quarterback. 2 years later, Gene Chizik was fired. If you can get enough talent, you don't have to have a great football. You don't have to have a Kirk Signal.
Larry Coker. Larry Coker at Miami.
That's another great example. That's another great example.
Yeah.
Think about it. Larry Coker and Ed Orgeron fielded two of the greatest college football teams of all time.
These guys ain't splitting atoms, fellas. They're not. We can pretend like they are.
There's a happy medium to that question, is my point.
Yeah. Okay.
And the way Indiana plays, it's their coach. If they're up 40 and they miss an assignment, he's losing his freaking mind.
You know who he reminds me of, guys, is Pat Summitt. You never knew the score when you watched her teams play. She would freak out on people when they were up 120 points.
I know. I can still see it. Her calling a time,
just screaming,
just like 27 points up, calling a timeout, and just meeting her team halfway off the court.
Yeah, that's one thing, Rusty, people say about our coach that I will agree with is the sloppy play and the margin for error when you do the things that his teams do constantly. It's going to get him beat if he doesn't change his system somehow, because you're not.
That's it.
You're not going to beat people that matter. You're just not.
We are overreacting. There's been a ton of it. You're right. That question, it's 100%. And changing coaches, not changing coaches, promoting Luttrell to OC and demoting Halsey, whatever you're going to do, all those things are great. But you have one loss right now if you just play sound football at a much higher clip. And that starts with the head coach. And the whole thing about Josh's appearance, it's a little out there and ridiculous. Mm-hmm. I'll give that. But I don't know if you guys ever heard this movie called Bull Durham. Mm-hmm. It's a sports movie, and it's really, the whole point of the movie is about sports psychology is what it really comes down to. And the old timer is telling the young kid, he finds his shower shoes and he's like, "Hey, your shoes are gross. You're sloppy." And here's the thing, young man. When you haven't done anything and you haven't won enough and your shoes look like this and you carry yourself that way, it's not a good look. If you go win 20 games in the major leagues and you keep dirty shoes and don't have a great appearance, people will think you're colorful. But until you do, it means you're a slob.
That's a great point. And that reminds me of my Little League baseball coach. He always told us, you can look like a baseball player even if you can't play like one. He was really big on our appearance when we took the field.
But what does a head coach look like? People say
it's perception. It's perception.
What do they want him to
do?
do?
Your team plays sloppy, and if you look a little sloppy, people are going to say it all correlates. Now, is it right? I don't know. I'm just saying that's the relation is, I carry myself this way. I behave this way. I care about my appearance that way. Oh, my team plays this way. Well, maybe those are related. But if you win a national championship, you can do all those things.
Wow.
It's like go back though. It doesn't always apply. You can go back. It's a very valid point, but you go back and look at Butch Jones. Butch Jones was very aware of his personal appearance.
Yes, he was.
Now, he couldn't control his face turning purple on the sidelines, but otherwise he looked neat. He was all together. Derek Dooley, every hair was in place, looked great on the sidelines, dressed the same way every time.
Yep.
It was so
No substance.
No substance
to either of those guys, though.
No, right. You're absolutely correct. Bill Belichick, when he was managing a dynasty with the New England Patriots,
Nobody said it about him.
No, I mean, he wore that hoodie. He looked like he was getting ready to knock off a liquor store after the game.
Yep.
But nobody cared. He was
But his teams
the
played,
genius.
but Belichick's teams played
exactly.
flawless.
To your point, he was the eccentric genius
until
You're
Brady
colorful.
left, and then those fans in Boston started talking about how he looked like a homeless guy. That's the truth.
Yeah.
It's the truth.
No.
Once you start losing, that's it.
Last thing, somebody brought up that quarterback that is going to play for Lane Kiffin next year. I don't think Lane's going to want that kid. Lane likes guys that can be accurate with the football and throw with some touch.
You're right.
And I said, you cannot teach touch. You can't teach throwing with accuracy downfield. It's a feeling.
Don't tell your boy Columbo that. Don't tell your boy Columbo.
And I was told I was crazy for thinking that you can teach it.
Oh.
And my take on that is it's like shooting a basketball throwing with touch, because basketball is a touch thing. It's a arc. It's all those things you got to do to shoot a basketball well, and it's also a feeling that some guys have. Now, can you make a guy that shoots 30% with a lot of work shoot 34%? Probably. But you can't make him a great shooter. You can make him a little bit better. You can't make a guy who's not accurate throwing the football downfield suddenly be Montana throwing the ball downfield.
Well,
This
listen,
can't happen.
I appreciate you. Thank you. You got to talk to your boy Columbo, though, who has this fixation with two things in life. The three things, really. One of them's off the table now. One of them was Herfuse.
Was what?
Herfuse. Brian, who's Herfuse? Tell John.
That is what the late, great caller Roger would call Hugh Freeze. Hugh Furs.
So one is Herfuse. Two is a quarterback that will not be named at UCLA. And three is the man they call Loverboy Lane at Ole Miss. Three obsessions of Mark and Columbo, and he's trying to take two of his obsessions, which would be like taking the chocolate and mixing it with the peanut butter. Mark's own football Reese's peanut butter cup, ladies and gentlemen, would be the uniting of Lane Kiffin and the quarterback that will not be named, who I have dubbed the Polynesian Prince.
Boy, those Reese things are good.
Do you like them? Oh, Mark
God.
and Columbo. Belly up to the bar, big boy. After this hour, two more calls.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
It's the hottest post-game show on the planet. Garza Law, fifth quarter fan reaction. Fan reaction. As soon as the final gun sounds, we're live.
Score a TD every time with T3 Vodka. T3 is Tennessee's premium vodka, handcrafted with passion, precision, and a whole lot of pride. T3 Vodka is taking the Volunteer State by storm. T3 Vodka, handcrafted in the majesty of the foothills of the Great Smoky Mountains, where quality isn't just a promise, it's a way of life. Filtered 10 times and 80 proof. T3 Vodka delivers a smoothness that's unmatched. This dedication to excellence has already earned T3 Vodka prestigious accolades. T3 is a 5-time gold medal winning vodka and the 2025 SIPS Consumer Choice Award medal winner. Whether you're sipping it neat or on the rocks or mixing up your favorite cocktail, T3 Vodka is your choice for a premium, award-winning experience. Score a T3 TD and ask for T3 Vodka by name at restaurants and wine and liquor stores today. Drink it neat, drink it right. Drink T3 Vodka and score a touchdown every time. T3, Tennessee's premium vodka. Distributed by Athens Distributing Company. Please drink responsibly. Basilio here. No one does it like Alumni Hall. I'm here to tell you, Living Vol fan, only one place. That's the best place to shop for Tennessee gear, and that's Alumni Hall. The best and largest selection of Tennessee apparel for the whole family. Top brands like Nike and Champion, Columbia, Peter Millar. Load up on hats, accessories, Yeti, all your tailgating necessities. Download the Alumni Hall app, click account, and it'll tell you how much Hall cash you've earned. You earn $10 in rewards for every $150 you spend. Alumni Hall, with physical locations in Murfreesboro, Bristol, and 3 locations in Knoxville, now open in Johnson City. Pop into Alumni Hall and get ready and tell them Tony B sent you. When it's time for a fresh coat of paint, run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. Interior and exterior, Walker's Painting's been making it beautiful since 1999 across the Knoxville area. New construction, repaints, commercial, residential, free estimates available. And get this, mention you heard Walker's Painting on the Basilio Show, 10% off your first job. Let's go! Run, don't walk to Walker's Painting. 865-688-1410. That's 865-688-1410. Walker's Painting, making it beautiful since 1999. Check out the ad at the blog at tclub.team. Walker's Painting.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Okay, so we really need uniforms and equipment for this season. Can I trust you with that? Cool, I'll just order them online. What? Yeah, I'm gonna hop online and I'm gonna get them ordered. Hold up, that's not a good idea. We shouldn't just spend money on some random online retailer, okay? I mean, it seems pretty convenient. Trust me, it's a terrible idea. Let me simplify this for you. SM Athletics. Okay, how do you pronounce it? SM Athletics? They're the go-to for uniforms and equipment, whether it's for universities, high schools, youth leagues, you name it. So why wouldn't you rather go with professionals who can guide us through the process, design the perfect uniforms, and deliver the best equipment? Yeah, I guess that makes sense. What's the name again? SM Athletics. Right. It's definitely smarter to go with a company that emphasizes customer service, fair pricing, and, of course, excellent products. Exactly. So, yeah, I guess it's settled then. For uniforms and equipment for all sports, it's SM Athletics.
Yeah, it's another day, but what kind of day is it really? A day of doom scrolling? Laundry day? Nah, it's a White Claw day. Light and refreshing tasting, uniquely cold way filtered. There's an iconic flavor for everyone. So grab a pack, grab your friends. Make the most of each day with those who matter most. When you're together with White Claw, every day is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. You just gotta grab it. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Got a problem tree looming over your home? Call ECR Total Landscapes. Whether it's trimming, removal, or storm cleanup, our certified pros get the job done safely and efficiently. We're licensed, insured, and ready 24/7 for emergency calls. Big or small, we cut them all. ECR Total Landscapes. Call now for a free estimate, 865-384-2012, and mention promo code FANRUN for free stump grinding on any tree removal now through the end of the year. Also, visit us at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Basilio here for Budget Transmissions. TGMD, the great Matt Dixon, took his Ford Escape to budget, and like our Gold Bullet back in the day, it was a total mess. And now, Matt's back in the game. He's got a new transmission, axle, wheel bearing, both radiator hoses,
engine mounts, coolant hoses. I mean, his Ford Escape was about to escape to the junkyard, but he didn't begrudge it. He took it to Budget, and now he's on his way back to Omaha. Budget Transmissions, over 30 years in business, conveniently located in Bearden. All extended service contracts are honored. A gold certified Repair Pal member. 865-584-4391. 865-584-4391. Budget Transmissions. Don't begrudge it. Take it to Budget.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morris here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Josh Collins at Collins Insurance Agency. At Collins Insurance, we strive to ensure our customers receive better coverage along with bigger savings. Our community is important to us. We want to provide exceptional service to our customers. Anybody can provide great rates, great coverage, but can you also get great service? And hey, don't just take my word for it.
What's up, everybody? Zakai Ziegler here. My family turns to Collins Insurance Agency for the best service, coverage, and price.
So don't just go online and get some random insurance. Experience the Collins Insurance difference.
Like he said, experience the Collins Insurance difference. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. And hey, their Mama Zizi approved. CollinsInsuranceTN.com. Thank you to Josh Collins and ZZ.
One more thing, Tony. Go
Vols!
Vols!
Go Vols! TB back with you. Hey, Josh, we need to do something new, man. That's getting on my last nerve. But I love you at the Collins Insurance Agency. By the way, the playbook with William Pattison coming up next. 865-200-5402. I don't get. I just don't get the overreaction. John referred to the Oklahoma loss as our aberration game, or I don't know, man. I just have trouble I have trouble comparing losing to Arkansas last year out of nowhere and losing to Oklahoma in the same breath. But then again, thinking about it, at any point this season did it ever dawn on me we were losing Oklahoma in our building? Because I had come to believe that we weren't going to lose any games in our building outside of Georgia this year. I thought our losses this year would be to Georgia at home, to Alabama down there, and to Florida down there, equaling 9-3.
Tony, I still think Brent Venables could get fired.
Oh, I think he will, yeah. I agree with that.
He's Oklahoma could lose the rest of its games. I don't think it will, but its schedule's just brutal.
Awful.
And Tennessee fans are really upset about the way the season is turned because you're out of the playoffs. I get that. But if Tennessee would have played Oklahoma-Florida schedule,
oh boy. Back to our phones we go. Well, next year you go up and, you start punching up in schedule weight next year. Hello and welcome in. You're on our TLD Logistics phone lines beginning hour 2. You're on the air. Hi. Try this again. Hi, you're on our TLD Logistics phone lines. Welcome in.
Hey guys, Dave.
Hey, Dave. Good to hear your voice, man.
The people in the YouTube comment.
Yeah.
Dave 0051, that's me. And I'm not a bit. I just tell you how I feel. Am I negative? Yeah, most of the time I am negative.
Yeah, I really shouldn't have tabbed you with the term negative. That's not a term of endearment, man. You deserve better than that.
That's okay. You're not the only one. I've got a buddy that says I'm too negative. So it's pretty obvious how I am.
Well, I've never met you, but I consider you a buddy. I've never met you, but I consider you a buddy, Dave.
But I think it's impressive Dave's self-awareness. He's not hiding from it. He knows who he is.
Oh, no. If like later today, I'm going to go walk in the park, and if Dave was out there, we'd have rain clouds following us. We'd have that one cell on a sunny day, raining right on you. Isolated showers, they could call Dave.
But I'm that way. I'm that way about my Cardinals. I'm that way about my Vols.
Yep.
And that's just the way it is. And
Fleet Pete says, "Hey Dave, you're a negabit. You're just doing a negabit." He said.
No, I'm not doing a negabit. I want excellence for my sports teams.
Pruitt's Netgator says it's a bit. He doesn't believe you. He says you're a bit. I don't know. I'm not taking a side here.
I think he comes across as very sincere. I do.
And am I too negative? Of course I am.
Matt, what do you think? Is this guy kind of a hemorrhoid? Where are you on that? Hang on, Dave. We're going to talk about you like you're not there. Matt, do you find this guy to be a sports hemorrhoid, yes or no?
No, I do think he's obviously way too negative, but a lot of the points he makes are usually, I agree with. He just being negative all the time just kind of, waters his points down.
Like UT9099 says, when Dave calls in, I tune out. He gave me the peace sign, Dave, so you just lost me a listener.
Yeah, I apologize for that. The thing about the way I go about it the way I go about it. But if in today's sports, the money that's involved, if you don't win, you'll get fired. I mean, it's just the way it is.
Dave, newsflash: every one of these coaches is going to get fired.
Exactly.
Well, then, Dave, that's all you talk about, though. You've been saying
Right.
Rick Barnes for years is going to get fired. Tony Vitello.
Hang on.
The year Tony Vols won the World Series, you came on here and freaked out on him, and they won the World Series. Dave, come on, man. And last night, you said something about a 5-win basketball season, and I'm going, Dave, you know that last night was a first game, and they've got like 10 new players, and they only have like 3 holdovers from last year, and those are 3 front court guys. Dave, you know better than that. Come on.
I got 4 holdovers.
Well,
hey, but let me ask you this: who is Tennessee's shooting guard?
Oh, jeez, here we go.
I'm serious.
Can they develop somebody? Can they find somebody, Dave?
Do you think that Abram kid's going to be any good?
I mean, he looks like Ron Slay from back in the day. I mean, he's got a headband on. That should count.
The only
for
guy
something.
that they got a chance to get it there is the Ethan Berg kid.
Borg from Israel.
Right. Because there's nobody else that can shoot. If we're depending on Boswell to be the number 2 guard, does he play decent defense? Yes.
Yeah, that's
but
what
he can't
they're going
score.
to put him out there every once in a while for defense. He's not going to be your go-to or starting 2 guard. And by the way, the other kid, Gillespie's not going to look like that once the season gets underway.
Not.
Well, he's not, Dave. And he's only.
But I tell you what, and I was talking to my buddy about this.
Oh, boy.
Let me tell you something.
Go ahead.
For everybody that didn't appreciate that number 5 kid that was on the court the last 4 years, now was he an unbelievable shooter or anything? No. Well, let me tell you something. That kid, that 5'9" point guard, controlled the game on both ends of the court. He got to any place he wanted to on the offensive end, and he took your best player, your best ball handler on the defensive end. That's how good Zakai Ziegler was.
Very good player.
That's how good. How good. Y'all have a great day.
Very good player. But to draw conclusions on one of these basketball teams besides Stephen Pearl, now I will draw conclusions on him. Bethune-Cookman in overtime? And then Stephen F. and Pearl, a buddy of mine, this is our guilty pleasure. It's going to be watching him crash and burn this year. No offense. He was up there quoting all these analytics last night, Matt. Like, dude, you were just in overtime with, and he was ex-FIP and all these crazy terms. Like he's hanging out with Will Warren, Matt. Who is Stephen F. and Pearl fooling? And his dad, I love his dad, but he left him a roster that he's not going to, I mean.
How long do you think he'll be the coach?
The over-under is 2.5 seasons, and I'm taking the under 2.5 would be the number I'd install.
Yeah, that's the betting line.
And I will go 2 this season and next season, and they will go find a new coach. But Bruce set his son up to get a cash buyout. That will be huge. It'd be interesting to see what the terms are of that deal. But they owed it to Bruce to give the kid that money. Right?
Yeah, well, look what Auburn basketball was before Bruce arrived. But I wonder if they're going to, how much of that they will lose without Bruce.
As Brian Hartman said, BBB, bring back Bar B. It's kind of like, what kind of steam will Tennessee baseball lose without Tony Vols? But until I saw Elander's glow up. And I thought to myself, that guy looks pretty attractive over there. I think he could still hold some of the female population.
Wait, so Elander's appearance does matter?
What does that mean?
Well, talk about Heupel yesterday, and now you're talking about Elander's glow up, giving you more confidence in the program.
Well, Tony,
I don't think it really shouldn't matter there either.
I'm talking about the ladies. I was talking about the ladies. The ladies are what drove the Tennessee baseball thing. You go to those games and look at the women in the stands. You know that, Matt.
The website, Tony V, is the only 10 I see.
Yep. And John Lurk's on there, by the way. On your, let's go.
On there.
Interesting. Let's go to the phones. Our TLD Logistics phone line. John just told on himself. Tony B is the only 10 I see. Just ladies, all you can do is change one letter, and you get to keep your website and stay in the Italian family, and I will gladly come make appearances. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Man, I wasn't going to call in today, man. But John Adams, you're a good man.
He's a good man.
All y'all good people, but I promised a friend of mine at the steel mill, little Bryson Hardy, that I was going to call you guys today and say the Florida Gators lost last night to Arizona, one of the best teams in the country.
Yep.
And you know what? Y'all worried about the wrong thing, man. So now that it's basketball season, football season not over with, y'all want to go switch from basketball to football?
No.
Is that what we're going to do? Is that how we're going to do it?
We haven't talked about basketball at all on here, except for Danny White's got a scoreboard where you can only see half the goal. It's like he's like we're back in Connie Mack Stadium in the 50s. My dad used to tell me that they were so poor the only seats they could get were those obstructed view seats. He said, I'd go to the baseball game and sit behind a pole.
I sat behind a pole at Crossley Field.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Crossley Field in Cincinnati.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they called them obstructed view seats. I'm going to start calling those Danny White spite seats. He's got his spite scoreboard now. Because my dad told me that what they did is Connie Mack erected a fence because he was tired of people not going to the games but watching from across the street. So they put up a spite fence, and it went like way high. And Danny White's got a spite scoreboard. If you don't give enough money, you get to sit up there and watch half the game. Is that really happening? That photo my son sent me, is that really true?
Tony.
Yeah.
Let Florida make his
I'm
points.
sorry, man.
Come on.
I'm controlling Florida's phone call.
That is rude.
Bad.
Hey, man, you rude to me like you was rude to Dave yesterday. I'm used to the rudeness, man. I don't care about that. You can be rude to me all you want to, Tony B, because every time I see you, every time I hear you, I'm calling. So be mean, bro. Be mean. Do all you want to do, brother. But I'm still gonna come and see you, and I'm still gonna call.
Heupel's Razor.
Without me, your ratings would be in the dump.
Heupel's Razor says the following about you, and Heupel's Razor is now really posting here over on YouTube. He says Florida is one of the all-time worst callers, but he does a great job of representing that fan base.
Tell him I said thank you, because, you know, that gives me prowess that I know that he don't know what the hell he talking about.
Well, it also should make you proud that you're in his head.
Yeah, Heupel's Razor is a sharp caller, though.
Thank you. I'm going to stay in this now.
Literally.
'Cause I'm going to remember that name, Heupel's Razor. I'm going to remember that name.
All right.
And I'm coming at him. But I just wanted to say y'all have a good day, man. Just calling in the mess today.
That's it?
Yes, that's it. That's all you're going to get today, Tony B.
Are you worried about your Florida basketball team that lost last night?
No. Just like listen, I told my friend, I said, Tony B asked me to come on yesterday.
Yep.
And say that, you know what? How about just make these Tennessee fans just won't hype it out even more? But you know what?
Huh?
Y'all some fair weather fans, man. I'm telling the truth about you today. You see how you do me? See how
I
must
have missed that. But you're huh? I did what? I asked you to come on. What?
You asked me to come on yesterday.
Show. What are you talking?
Yeah, you asked me to come on the show yesterday.
What are you talking?
Man,
Florida. When you're Florida, when you start doing what you're doing, this fantasy thing, I go like this: 5 and a 4 and a tria and a dose and a unci, and you're out of here. Don't do that to me, Florida, you clown. People believe stuff like that.
I'm glad Florida called. He hasn't called in a while when I've been on.
He's a clown, and your team's slaw. But we go back to the phones.
A Florida fan calling Tennessee's fans fair weather is really, really rich. That's one of the more incredible lines I've heard on this show.
Because if they go, Matt, 1 for 2 for their next game, how many empty seats for the Tennessee game down there? If they go 1 and 1 in their next 2,
it'll probably be a pretty sparse crowd. The only concern is it'll be their first home game in well over a month, so it could be a juiced up kind of a rally of the troops deal, which is a concern of mine.
And I do think there's a sense of pride in that game that they brought to that Georgia matchup. I think Tennessee, with those athletes, with those kids, will bring out the best in them, John, to want to compete and not let the Vols win in their building.
You mean the Commodores?
No, I'm talking about the Florida Gators in a couple weeks down there. Will they check out? Will Florida check out when they play the Vols? I keep going back and forth on it. I've arrived at no after watching them against Georgia over the weekend. I think Tennessee's going to hold their interest, those kids' interest.
But how much more can Florida stand? It's still got to go to Oxford and play Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm. That's going to be Lane Kiffin's loss that keeps them out of the playoffs. Or wait a second.
No.
That'd be a second loss.
He's making the playoffs.
Well, he's comfortably in.
I don't think Kiffin's losing more than one game, and if he does that, they'll be in.
How about Mississippi State beats them?
That's possible.
Poor Mark and Lumbo will be in like sackcloth and ashes if that happens. Let's go back to the phones on your TLD Logistics phone line on a day where we're bringing it. And I'm asking you, are we overreacting or are you overreacting? Because I'm not. I'm not out on this coach. And I don't think he sucks. I do think he needs to make changes. I've said that. I do think his teams are a little too loosey-goosey. But they didn't commit a bunch of penalties the other day.
Well, here's the thing, though.
Yeah.
You're pretty much even keel all the time.
Hello and welcome in. You're on the air. Hi.
Sorry. Hey, Tony, it's Jake.
Hey, Jakey.
John popped me on that one.
Yeah, I like getting popped.
I think that all these people that are saying that the season's over, the season's a failure, are being pretty hypocritical, and here's why. If things go as they should, which, I mean, do you think that we'll be favored in the remaining games on the schedule? Do you think we'll be favored against Vandy at home?
Yes.
Slight favorite.
It's a very slight favorite, kind of like Oklahoma.
Yep. 1 or 2 points, 3 points, something like that. Yep. But
so if we, if we take care of business and we beat Florida on the road and we beat Vanderbilt at home, that is probably the biggest Tennessee Vanderbilt games of our lifetime, and will take them out of the playoffs. I mean, I guess I can't speak for everybody, but for me, I will look more fondly upon this season than I will last season. The season that we went to the playoffs, because of just how that season ended. Yeah. And also, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I know Matt talks about the season or the era of the playoffs taking away these big games in the regular season, and I get that, but like, man, that Tennessee Vanderbilt game is going to be a massive game, and we're not even in the playoff hunt, but it's going to be massive to us because it's just going to be such a huge deal to knock them out of the playoffs. and to break that streak against Florida. I mean, I for one will look more fondly, especially with the Aguilar and just all of it. I'll look more fondly upon this season than I would even the season that we made the playoffs.
They can match last year's record, which is wild still, if they win out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get me wrong. I would love to make the playoffs, but just with you, that's why you got to take it season by season, game by game. I mean, we never imagined that the weight of this Tennessee Vanderbilt game would be what it potentially is probably going to be at the end of this season. And if we end up going 9-3, beating Florida on the road, beating a in-state rival to knock them out of the playoffs, shoot, man, that's a freaking awesome season that I would take over going to the playoffs and getting blown out on some, wherever.
That's one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. But I think you're right, and that's probably how some fans feel about it. The idea that Tennessee has something to gain by beating Vanderbilt. In the past, it's never mattered.
No.
It only matters if you lose that game. I think there would be a greater chance of Tennessee losing that game if this Vanderbilt team came into it with 4 losses, wasn't in the playoff, and it wouldn't nothing matters. I do think self-pride will come to the fore for Tennessee in that game.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
It better, because if you lose that game, I'm telling you right now, the fan base is going to freak out on that athletic director. They think it's bad right now.
Why would they freak out on the AD? It'll be the coach.
Both of them. The AD is going to get so much pressure, it's going to be insane. And the head coach is going to be in a new reality. I'm just telling you, I know this fan base. This freak out, little mini freak out we've had over Oklahoma,
be magnified.
It will. But I mean, I guess I'm still looking much looking forward to the rest of this season, just because there's so much left to play for.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's compelling.
And
people that say they're
you got
checking
2
out
rivals left on the schedule.
Absolutely. Listen, this is the last time we're going to play Florida every year, and you can look at it and say, well, if there's a way to end this series over the last 30 years, and John's a writer, what's the better arc? You win that game, or you just go down there and do the JOB like you always do? What's the better way to end the arc? What's the more fitting way to end the arc?
Well, yeah, you want to win it, and here's the thing too.
Yeah.
Since you won't be playing Florida every year, that streak continues, and it's hanging over your head the next time you go to the Swamp.
Yep.
So this would be a great opportunity to end it. I do think, as upset as Tennessee fans are, those games now with Florida, I just am not sure about Florida's state of mind going into that game. I think a lot of guys might be wondering where will they play next year.
That's a point.
You can only take so many of those losses. I think it's going to get fired up for Georgia, a chance to knock off Georgia.
Yep.
And I think he'll get fired up against Ole Miss, a chance to knock a team out of a playoff.
I agree with Jakey. I think there's a lot left. I'm not turning college football into the trophy culture game. I enjoy it every week.
They've also lost their best receiver, Dallas. What's the guy's name? Dallas Wilson.
Great player.
And he sort of sparked their mid-season sort of, I guess, resurgence a little bit. So how they go without him, that's a big loss.
And by the way, if I'm Tennessee when I'm down there, I try to find him, and I walk right over to him and I say, hey, man, you see that tall, skinny kid over there? He got a rocket arm.
Oh,
he got a rocket arm.
That's the other thing about this, Tony, is that I'm so thankful that we're in a stable state of our program that this off season is going to be so wild,
massive,
so just. I mean, you talk about a prime portal off season that I think next year will be. There will be no more excuses if we don't go to the portal this off season and get what we need.
Yep.
That then there's not going to be that same level of leeway with Heupel. If he chooses to still not do what he didn't do last year,
he's gonna get hammered. He better sign himself 10. He better get 10 players out of that transfer portal on defense, or he is going to get hammered.
And he
better fire his defensive coordinator while he's at it. I've come around to Papa's way of thinking on that as well.
Please.
Thank you. Good talking to you. Because I can't. This Tim Banks thing, no offense to him, they're good till they need to be. Like the other night. Get a stop for crying out loud.
It's
not fair.
Not
asking
a lot of somebody to stop Oklahoma's offense. Just tackle John Mateer.
Don't let him run for 20 yards on 3rd and 17.
Hey, Matt, do you agree with me? We should, with all this upheaval, we should be targeting defensive players off these rosters. I mean, that's a no-brainer, isn't it?
You should be targeting everybody, not just if.
It's not just rosters of coaching changes. Just you should be evaluating rosters all over the country. G5 rosters, whoever. Yeah, you got to find a way to upgrade where you can. Absolutely.
And I would find great players on FCS rosters.
And I would go get a ton of defenders in this offseason. You got to rework your defense.
I still want a transfer portal quarterback. I don't want to go into next season with that schedule. I know I'm beating this point to death.
It's an interesting point.
But it is. To have going into that schedule with a true freshman and a redshirt freshman.
Yep.
Boy, the guy to me is that Damon Williams at Washington. Have you watched him at all?
Here's the thing, though, John, right? You bring him in, both those guys are transferring.
Fine.
Not just one.
You're
going to lose a 5-star quarterback, John?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well.
Because Damon Wilson, he's a 5-star right now. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I don't know how much Washington's paying him. Maybe a lot. Probably a lot. He went there with his coach from. But boy, but there are players out there like that. If I'm going into next season's schedule, do you think that Tennessee, that George McIntyre can be Julian Sayin?
Here's what I want to say out loud that I don't want to say out loud, but I'm going to say it out loud because it's who I am. Tennessee finishes this season and goes 7-5. Josh Heupel's going to have to go get an experienced quarterback. Because John's right. Because he'd be coaching for his job next year. Because I'm telling you right now, if you lose to Vanderbilt, you're going to wake up in a new Bugatti, a new reality, a new world, a world you've never seen here. And when people here turn it up on you, they know how to turn the flame up, man. They know, our fan base knows where that trigger is on that Bunsen burner, and they know how to make a test tube crack better than anybody. I mean, this little snippet we've gotten from Oklahoma, and then the just yesterday, the doom and gloom about the Vanderbilt thing. I'm just like, I'm over here going, I've been here 30 years, and I was surprised by this reaction already. And if he goes 6-6 next year, the pressure because of the money that this AD, and he's not alone, but the money these ADs are charging these people now it's just enormous. Even the working person to go to games, the money is just enormous. And John, the next 2 games, those 2 key games, the Florida game and the Vanderbilt game, to me are going to determine whether or not you're going to have the luxury of going in the next year with a redshirt freshman quarterback that you're not going to play much this year. We already know that. Or a true freshman 5-star player. And I think that will change the equation. I just said that into my microphone. I want Matt's thoughts and John's thoughts on that. We continue with more Embry on the other side after this.
Guests appear on the TLD Logistics Hotline. Online at tldlogistics.com.
Are you currently a residential electrician? Would you like more benefits, better pay, more upside? What about a $3,000 signing bonus? Free company paid health insurance, annual profit share, company vehicle, gas card, much more. Call Advent Electric today. Advent, known for their large commercial jobs around town, and due to high demand, they're adding additional roles for their residential department. Maybe you know a friend, family member that's a residential electrician. Spread the word. Email hr@adventelectric.com. hr@adventelectric.com. 865-588-0631 and ask for the Tony B 3K signing bonus. Advent Electric is hiring. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contracting. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Hi, I'm Jim Simpson, owner of Simpson Meats. When's the last time you grilled a really good burger or steak? One your friends still talk about. Our goal at Simpson Meats is to make that happen every time you have a cookout. All of our cuts of meats, steaks, burgers, briskets, and pork are always fresh, flavorful, and sustainably sourced. We are family owned, so we know the importance of knowing how and where your food is raised. We have been putting quality first since 1888. Visit our butcher shop off Lovell Road or online at simpsonmeats.com.
Hey there, Basilio family. Jennifer Morse here with Keller Williams Realty. The countdown to fall football is on. Is your fall plan missing the perfect home to watch the Vols make another playoff run? If a new view is on your game day checklist, I'm ready to help you find it. Don't wait until kickoff. Give me a call today at 865-694-5904 or visit my website at nextmovesmokymountains.com. That's nextmovesmokymountains.com, and go Vols.
Tony Basilio, and we are live once again with Chad Stockton of FC Alliance. And Chad, you're out there on the field, 100 strong here in Knoxville. Talk to me. What's been going on with FC Alliance now that the weather's heating up?
We're out here for the first night of the boys' tryouts. We have over 400 kids that'll be here tonight. So a lot of exciting times right now for us. Our club team start at U9 and we go all the way through U19. We have over 1,000 kids that come from Chattanooga from the Tri-Cities that make all our teams and make this club what it is today. So we're excited about it. We finished the younger kids a couple of weeks ago. We just finished the girls last night, and now we're on to our older boys program as we speak right now.
And we're blowing and going in the Tri-Cities. Tell me about it.
We started FC Alliance North 1 year ago, and coming off the first year, we are the largest, most competitive club up in the Tri-Cities area. We just finished our trials last night. Looks like right now we will be well over 400 kids for the upcoming season. So great things happening up there. We've put our boys into some really good regional leagues. So we're excited about what the future holds for them and also our girls programs.
If you want more information, check them out at fcallianceknox.org. That's fcallianceknox.org. Chad Stockton, keep growing the beautiful game here in East Tennessee.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tony.
Tony Basilio along with the great Mark Griffin. And we're here to talk about our friends at Performance Medicine. And Griff, their slogan, stay educated, stay healthy. That's you.
Wow, I really like to think that, Tony, and I'd like to give Dr. Rogers a lot of credit because I definitely want to stay educated and healthy, and knowing that he's putting the time and effort in to make sure of my care, I want to encourage your listeners to put the time to learn and become educated and get to know Dr. Rogers and see if it can help with your health as well.
And there's a really, really easy way to do that. In fact, they've got their own YouTube channel. You can see Dr. Rogers for himself with his staff
staff. It's called The Performance Medicine Show over at the Performance Medicine channel over on YouTube. Also, more information at performancemedicine.net. To our friends in North Knoxville, a brand new location over in Fountain City, now accepting patients. So many ways to reach Dr. Rogers. And like they say, stay educated, stay healthy. Performance Medicine, online, performancemedicine.net.
Located in Knoxville's historic Old City, Barley's offers great food, live music, the best draft beer selection in town, and now your new favorite place to watch sports. Their indoor projector is perfect for any weather, and they've revamped their upstairs area with more TVs to take in all of the action. Their menu features hand-battered chicken tenders, juicy burgers, fresh salads, and the tastiest pizza in Knoxville. You can enjoy their happy hour drink specials daily from open until 6 p.m. Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria.
When it's past high noon, it's time for a vodka soda made with a vodka you've actually heard of. I'm talking White Claw vodka soda made with White Claw premium vodka. JB Smooth only drinks vodka soda made with the world's smoothest vodka.
And you can too. Pick you up a bottle of the triple wave filtered vodka that's been distilled 5 times. White Claw premium vodka comes in 4 flavors: black cherry, mango, pineapple, and just vodka. You haven't had vodka like this. No one has. White Claw Premium Vodka. Please drink responsibly.
PB back with you as we welcome you back, 865-200-5402. There's just so many moving parts in college football right now. It's just such a compelling sport. Several people have, said, well, now that we're eliminated, I'm not going to watch anymore. That's not true. I know you're mad. And the sport is so compelling. John and I were talking. We're going to be watching that absolute toilet bowl game tonight. All these games are interesting, John.
And UMass.
Come on, man.
UMass is just an absolutely awful team with
Yes.
no offense. But Akron's such a traditional loser. I could see it flopping to the occasion and making that a close game.
See? That Butch Jones game from a couple weeks ago. Where's Major Applewhite, Matt? What's his program?
See, it's South Alabama.
South Alabama.
He's dreadful. Butchie boy, I mean, that game the other night that they put that thing on national television was unbelievable. It was one of the worst games I've ever witnessed.
But it can be so
But
bad,
so,
it's good.
That's exactly right.
It's
like embrace the suck, as they say in the trade.
I noticed watching that Kennesaw State UTEP game.
Let's go.
It's one of the more entertaining games I've watched. And Tennessee plays Kennesaw State next year. Kennesaw State could win Conference USA.
I saw a game the other night in front of tens of people down there at down there at where were we? Oh God, what was the game, guys? What's the game you're on tonight?
UMass and Akron tonight.
So UMass is catching 11.
Oh, it's gone up. It started out, it was 10. So
catching 11.
I love the camera shots on those kind of games.
Oh yeah,
they get those tight shots.
Oh yeah,
and like 20 people gather together. The cameraman just hangs with those people.
It's like the old USFL days. My dad used to joke. He said Tony likes the football league where the ball goes up in the air and the camera doesn't. Because they didn't want to show you how few people were there. So the ball goes up in the air. It's like Danny White's scoreboard. It just kind of disappears.
Hey, but you know what? They like the numbers they get on TV. There's a lot of people that are watching that and betting on it, so it doesn't matter.
Brian,
nobody shows up.
Brian,
it's like ball games.
Brian, did you say betting on it? Oh, my friends at VIP Play. If you will just bet $20, you get $100 in bonus bets instantly. The promo code and the phrase that pays is TN Tony.
Take Akron
tonight. John Adams is on the Zips of Akron in honor of Jerry Faust. Look him up, kids. Cincinnati Moeller. Look up Jerry Faust. Look him up.
Cincinnati Moeller to Notre Dame.
To Notre Dame, and it was one of the,
worst hires in history.
Yeah, it went like you thought it would go. Let's put it this way. He was not divine, as in Dan Devine. But he was dead on divine the minute he got there. Live always, 200+ leagues, numerous bet types. I might do me a little Maction, Philadelphia Flyers, same gamer tonight.
Jeez, that is so sick.
2 games in the MAC, and you got Miami of Ohio at Ohio tonight too. So
lot of compelling, if that's what you want to call it, stuff going on. But 200 leagues, live always, all the footy, the European footy today, numerous bet types, props, options. You got it. VIP play where everybody gets treated, and I mean everybody, gets treated like a VIP. Gambling problem, 800-889-9789. 21 and over, located in the state of Tennessee to place a bet. We go back to our phones and get our next call in on a day where John Adams is presented by Jennifer Morris, Next Move, SmokyMountains.com. People ask me, is she as cool as she sounds on those commercials? No. She's 100 times cooler than she sounds.
Even her dog is cool.
You met her dog the other day in the park, right?
Turner. Yeah,
Turner.
I saw walking, and great dog, beautiful dog. He's part Pyrenees, big dog.
Yeah.
Sort of a Palomino look to him.
120 pounds, she told me.
I didn't think he was that big.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he carries his weight well. So they're walking away, and I said, bye, Turner. He turned around and looked at me. It was nice.
That's sweet. Yeah. My dog.
Your dog greeted me out here today.
Barking at you?
No, he just looked at me and I talked to him.
Really?
Yeah, I talked to him, and then after I finished talking, he started barking at me.
My dog has the awareness of a flea.
That's not true.
My dog in dog world would be like an imbecile. My dog, if my dog was human, would probably be on hold, be listening right now, be interacting on YouTube. I don't know. Turning the show off. I don't know. Let's go to the phone.
Living in his mom's basement.
Let's go to the phones. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air.
Hey, Tony, it's Garrick in South Bend. How we doing this
Yo, what's up in South Bend? How did you know we were going to talk about Jerry Faust?
Oh, man.
What's up, my brother?
Well, I'm kind of new up here in South Bend.
Nice.
I'm not really too familiar with the lore and the Notre Dame lore up here.
Yeah, enjoy the winter, and I'll give you John Bryce's number. You guys can hang out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we got a bye week this week, and we're playing at Tomato Can next week, and then we got Florida. So there's going to be plenty of time to talk about the Vols college football. I'd like to talk a little bit about Tennessee basketball, if you don't mind.
Yeah, what'd you think of last night?
Well, I think that anybody making any conclusions about what the starting five or the rotation by watching the Duke scrimmage and the game last night, they don't know what they're talking about, because I don't even think Rick Barnes knows what the hell he's going to do with that starting five and that rotation yet.
I think that's an accurate statement, and I think they used last night. Like, the Carey guy has not had a good camp, and they're not happy with him, and he started, okay? And, look, if your starting two-guard is a guy that looks like a Division II player on the offensive end and a Division I player on the defensive end, if that's your starting two-guard, Negadave's going to be right. If that guy plays a lot of minutes, Negadave's going to be right, and they're not going to have a very good year. That's not going to happen. So Tennessee will find numbers. I will give you one observation. This Nate Ament guy, I see what the NBA sees in him, and they've got to figure out ways to get him going quickly up the court. They've got to find that gear as the season goes along, because he's really going to be able to play in transition for them.
Yeah, I think you're totally right about Ament, and I think the most impressive thing that I've seen from him so far is that he's a mismatch no matter who you put up against him. If you put a big guy up on him, he's going to be able to run right around him, and if you put a short guy on him, a little guard on him, he's going to be able to get his shot off 10 times out of 10. I think that's very promising, and I think it's going to be important early on for him to really, get that confidence, and the schedule bodes well for that, because we play nobody with a pulse until we go out to Vegas for that tournament.
That's right. That's right.
But I think the most exciting thing that I've seen from Tennessee basketball so far, and I know it's been an exhibition, and we played whoever last night, School of the Blind. That Brown kid, he is going to be a problem. He is going to be a great 4-year player here at UT. He's got the motor. Yep. He's a little undersized, but he makes up for that in wingspan. Yep. He's a little raw. He doesn't have a lot of moves, but he's got that motor. I know it's only 2 games in, but he reminds me a lot of a Grant Williams, and that's very, very exciting. I think he's going to be an awesome addition for this program.
I think that's a great comparison. They had no idea, when you talk about no idea, they had no idea that kid would be a player right now. They had zero inkling that he had this in him. He lost, after his junior year in high school up till now, he's lost a good 50 pounds. They had zero idea that he is who he is or would be what he will be, but he's going to be an impact player. You are exactly right. He's going to play real minutes this year. Our front line is fantastic. It will be criminal if we can't identify a 2-guard this year, because we're going to have one of the better front lines in college basketball.
Well, it's going to be the deepest front court in college basketball.
Courts,
I mean, think of the run a couple of years ago where if Adu went out, we were hopeless because our big's out.
That's right.
I mean, we can filter 4 or 5 guys at the 4 and the 5, and we can run them out there. Hell, if Carey doesn't work out, just have them go out there and play hack-a-shack, whatever, and then we'll throw Estrella or Cade or whoever in there. So I'm very optimistic about the basketball season. I think we'll find a 2-guard, a serviceable 2-guard.
Yes.
I mean, our starting 2-guard last year was Meshack, who couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, it seemed like. We played defense, hey, you're going to get the minutes, and that's just what Rick Barnes does. But I appreciate you taking the phone call. I guess the callers can get back to talking about Heupel's neck beard and his wardrobe. Love you, mean it. Go Big Orange.
865-200-5402. Hey, Matt and John, I'm not so sure I wouldn't let a Ment play some 2-guard as we go along here in some sets, because that's who he is. He's a wing anyway, and you could let him sit out there and shoot the ball a little bit.
Boy, you could really go big.
Yes, you could.
But if you put him at 2-guard,
because this Estrella guy is a really talented player, and if he stays healthy, he's going to demand more playing time. Phillips is going to demand more playing time. Brown's going to demand more playing time. If Carey gets in shape, he's on demand more playing time. You might be a matchup problem for people if you fool around with sticking a Ment. I mean, it just comes to me.
Got to have some threes. Got to hit some threes.
He can shoot it. He can shoot it. Matt, I love him. I love this Ment guy. I think he's going to be a hell of a player.
Yeah, got a lot of potential. Is kind of a matchup problem no matter where you put him on the floor.
Yep.
And you can, it's kind of a positionless, game now where, whether he's 2, 3, wherever.
Yep.
You can get him the ball, just kind of give him that Dalton Connect role. But yeah, you are missing that scoring from your 2-guard that Chaz Lanier gave you last year. But he was also basically just a catch and shoot guy. Also, he couldn't create a ton, but you have to find that scoring from somewhere.
And the thing is,
and obviously, Ament's going to be that, and then Gillespie's going to be a better scorer than Ziegler was.
There is very little doubt in my mind that once Gillespie gets going, gets his feet under him, gets to know his teammates, anybody drawing conclusions on last night's game, Gillespie is going to play a lot more and a lot better than he played last night. I can promise you that. I draw zero conclusions on last night's game, other than I wouldn't play this team to hammer cover people early like past Barnes teams, because this one's going to take a while. Hello and welcome into our next call. You're on the air. Let's try this again. Hi, welcome in. You're on the air. All right, you sit tight. Hello, welcome in. You're on the air.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, Wingzo.
Hey. Before I get to what I want to say, Tony, I really want to thank you for throwing my birthday party. I really appreciate what you do.
It was incredible, man. It was incredible.
Yeah. So I want to start off by saying I disagree with Dave on what he said last night about this basketball team, but I do think it's going to take about 5 or 6 games for this team to gel, and I think they're going to have a really good season. Thought.
Oh, it's going to take into the SEC season for all these teams to gain their form, because it's pickup basketball now, like Mark Griffin said. Mark Griffin said last weekend here, this is pickup basketball. It's what we're watching now, and we have to be
I'm
honest
glad to
about
see
it.
Auburn get their form last night, though.
Yes, they're already at midseason form.
Yeah. And I was hearing, Bronny, if Bethune-Cookman would have had their superstar last night, they probably would have beat that Auburn team.
They were missing a player?
Yeah, their superstar was out for Bethune-Cookman.
Let's go, Stephen Pearl. Give me some
Yeah,
hope, man.
Stephen F. and Pearl.
Give me some hope.
So, Tony, I know before Houston we play Rutgers in that tournament in Vegas. Do you think Rutgers might give us a test in that game?
No. Rutgers had nice players last year. I do like their uniforms, though, in hoops. So that'll be fun to watch. When's the last time we played Rutgers in hoops, guys? Brian?
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening in my time here.
Well, I think the women have played them. Used to be common, but I don't remember the men playing them.
Tony, what did you think about Nate Amen's performance last night? I thought he played pretty good for his first game.
He's going to be very good. Very good. He does a lot of things well, man.
He's going to make some mistakes as a freshman, but that's given.
I've made some mistakes today, Everybody's going to make some mistakes along the way.
You made a mistake?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that.
I know Florida, they got Ole Miss before us, and who was the other team you said they had before they play us?
They got Kentucky Saturday night.
Kentucky. Yeah, so potentially they could be very banged up when they play us in Gainesville.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, anytime you step on the floor, Josh, in these games, you're going to get banged up. You're exactly right.
I'd like to see Georgia and Florida. I wonder if they both are good to fade this week.
Interesting.
After last week.
Yeah.
Tony's been
Tony,
fading Georgia for a month and a half now.
Yeah, it's true, Matt. Yeah, Tony, I agree with what you said earlier. If I'm Josh Heupel and Danny Watt, when we play Florida in Gainesville, I go over to Dallas Wilson and say, hey, you see that skinny quarterback right there? Kid's got a rocket for an arm, and you would be perfect in this offense next season.
I feel you. And soon Dallas Wilson's going to feel this. Because I'd slap a big check in his hand that night. I'd get aggressive with him.
Think Ohio State hadn't already noticed him?
I'd walk right over there, John, and hand him $100,000 of cold, hard cash.
Ohio State will pay more than that.
No, I mean real cash. I'm talking about hand him $100,000 on the field that night in a satchel. I'd make my statement. I would tamper out loud with the guy. Why not? As we continue with more after this.
So,
here for Cedar Bluff Plumbing, a live and local company that's been serving our area for over 32 years and counting, because every customer counts, and I mean, no job is too small. Cedar Bluff Plumbing just voted #1 by City View magazine because multiple plumbing experts are on call to serve all your plumbing needs. Chances are there'll be a plumber in your area when you call, and they won't send some salesman to your house. You're going to get a high-character, trustworthy, highly trained plumber who will serve you. Not like some of these guys that look like they came off the set of America's Most Wanted. Cedar Bluff Plumbing is Basilio tested and approved and will go the extra mile for you because Chucky Mack is a servant of the people and my consigliere to the throne, celebrating over 32 years of serving living volunteers. Cedar Bluff Plumbing. Call 588-4448. That's 588-4448. Cedar Bluff Plumbing.
College football fans, Chris Fowler here with the play call. This season, go for Dose with ice-cold, refreshing Dos Equis. It's more than a single play. It's a mindset. Think of it as a 2-point conversion for real life. Taking the risk, making the bold move. Whenever we get the chance to go big, we take it. On the field and off, always go for Dose with Dos Equis.
Enjoy Dos Equis responsibly. Copyright 2024 Dos Equis Lager Especial Beer. Imported by Cervezas Mexicanas, White Plains, New York.
Achillio here, and my friends at Carnes Motor Company started with a dream over a quarter century ago. I met Rob and Brian back when I still had hair, and they were working at a huge dealership in West Knoxville. But they told me back then they wanted to sell cars on their terms, and I wanted to do radio on my terms. Their terms, just like my terms, are ultimately your terms. In both cases, you're the winner. A Car Guru's National Award winner with a 5-star rating on all sites, just like our Vols. Everything about buying a car from Carnes Motor Company is no hassle. They specialize in high-quality pre-owned vehicles between the $5,000 to $25,000 range. And if you need to sell a car, they'll either buy your car or they'll help you sell it. Carnes Motor Company also has a top-notch service department. Therefore, every vehicle is rigorously inspected and serviced prior to delivery. So you're guaranteed to get a quality pre-owned vehicle every time. If you need a place for service, they've got you covered. Come be a part of the Carnes Motor Company family and tell them you heard about it from me. Online at carnesmotor.com, Oak Ridge Highway, 1 mile past the Carnes light. Carnes Motor Company.
Shout out to Rob and Brian. There's my boys right there. Shout out Clarky. Over the weekend, you're my man over at Select Ticket Service. He buys tickets. My main man William Pattison is on the way next with the playbook. We'll stay here and do it, whatever it is we're doing.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Start your engines. Race fan. Race fan.
It's TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime, presented by TLD Logistics. Online at tldlogistics.com.
John, Lady Vols any good this year?
And now let's go to the guys with today's edition of TLD Logistics Overdrive Overtime.
What are expectations for the Lady Vols and Kim Caldwell's second year? She's got the second highest payroll in college basketball. What are the expectations?
Final Four.
Really? They're that good?
I don't know, but I think those should be the expectations. She's got her second year now. I thought her first team did really good. Her system worked.
Yes.
She's added more players. She's got more depth.
Yep.
This should be a really good team, and she'll get a good barometer of how good her team might be in postseason with a regular season schedule. Because the SEC will be really good again.
Really? It's been a while since the SEC's been up there, right?
No, not really.
No?
It's been good for a while. But
it's not like it's not like on the men's side though, right?
No, but it was pretty good last year. A lot of good teams in it.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So LSU, South Carolina, those are two Final Four hopefuls, along with I think Tennessee's right behind them in the SEC. Texas will be really good.
Keith Garrison wanted me to ask you about it. So shout out Keith Garrison for pricking my ears on that. Go ahead, Bri.
How much will they miss Ruby Whitehorn, you think? Just what she can do on the court. Now, off the court, you can understand.
KPD's going to miss her.
Yeah, you can't get arrested twice in 2 months and expect to stay on a basketball team.
What do you think? You're playing at Georgia football?
I mean, well, she wasn't driving a... Well, yeah, she was driving a car. Not too fast, just kind of erratically.
Hey, Matt, you think if she was on Georgia's football team, Ruby Whitehorn, would she still be there, Matt?
Yeah, she would be suspended for the first half of whatever the first bye game would be. Not suspended today because it's a top 10 matchup.
Lambrito referred to her as a one-woman crime spree on Friday, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
I mean, talk about things you never hear on the air. A one-woman crime spree.
She was... And it was kind of because back in the day when Tennessee football players were getting arrested every weekend, it's so different now. There just aren't that many athletes over there arrested, and so it really stuck out. And here she went back to back.
It's a different era, yeah.
Yeah.
She really kind of was a one-woman crime spree.
Yeah.
And kind of had the looks to sort of back it up.
What does she look like?
Pretty rough, pretty tough. I wouldn't mess with her.
Did you ride shotgun in a car late one night?
No, I think I'd take the keys. But let's go ahead and go to the phones. As John, John, when I mug for that camera, why do you laugh? Why do you laugh at that? When I mug for the camera, when we did the camera mugging, why do you laugh? It's just so dumb.
You're just such a clown show.
Back to the phones we go. As I told a friend of mine, he goes, what is your deal? I said, when you're doing this as much as I'm doing it in football, you've got to kind of amuse yourself.
Of course.
Or what's the point, right? Or,
Yeah,
it becomes work. At that point, right?
Yeah, and you really don't have any awareness about what people are seeing. That's one of the advantages. It's one of the reasons I like coming over here and doing the show rather than doing it remotely, just because your looks like that make me laugh.
Back to our phones we go. Hi, you're on the air.
Hey, Tony and guys, it's Holly.
Hey, Holly, welcome in.
Well, I've got to go back to football. Yesterday's show really disturbed me. I couldn't get it out of my mind after it was over. And so I just wanted to put my 2 cents worth in and then ask a question. The Oklahoma game, of course, it was awful, and there's plenty of blame to go around. And, with the coaches, the staff, and the team, they've got lots to work on. But I just think everybody needs to take a deep breath. I keep thinking about, I clearly remember back in the early summer, late spring, when Nico walked out the door, and, everybody was like, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? And, oh, no. And everybody agreed that this was going to be kind of I don't know if this is the right word to call it, a grace year for UT football and Heupel. And, everybody agreed with that. Everybody talked about that, well, this is going to be a year where we're going to clean up the mess and have to look forward to next year. And I was one of those too that felt that way. And I thought, okay, get ready for an 8-4 season, and that's okay and realistic given all the mess. And then, we go through and we hear all this good stuff about the team working out with Aguilar, and he's more than we expected. And then he comes out and he's just way better, really, than we feared that he'd be. And then everybody, it seems to me, forgot what a mess we had and the little bit of time that he had to get ready, and that Nico left and all that, and that we said this was going to be a grace year. And then we get all excited, and this is what Vol fans do. We just, sometimes I think this is why we can't have nice things, as people say sometimes. We get all excited, we throw the baby out with the bathwater, we forget, what we said, and then we think, oh, well, he's so good, and now we're going to just win everything. He's going to be a Heisman Trophy guy in the, contention for that. And then I think we added fuel to the fire because we did look good against Georgia, except for, we should have won that game. So anyway, all that was going on. So we lifted our expectations way crazy high. So to me, the ultimate question is this, and I don't have the answer to this, and I want your guys' opinion on this. This year, in general, has been full of chaos at UT, and we've forgotten that, but also everywhere in college football, with the players, the jumping of schools, making crazy money, the coaches' crazy contracts, and buyouts, money, and then unreal expectations, and then all those quarterbacks that were supposed to be so great in that class have really turned out to be kind of a zero. Then we've changed the bowl games and the football playoff mindset, and it goes on and on and on.
Yep.
So my question is, are we at a tipping point as college fans, and of course especially UT fans, to this sort of madness? are we at the apex of it, or are we getting ready to see it go higher and crazier and further unrealistic expectations and get rid of every coach and all this, that, and the other, and crazy ticket prices? Or are we at an apex where it's going to start coming down to a little bit of sanity? That's my question.
Holly, I think it's a great question, and thank you for the call. Here's the thing. It's all in the eye of the beholder. It's kind of like beauty, right? Like, some would look at me and go, that guy's hot. Particularly me.
Has anyone ever said that?
Laura told me the other day, she said, you don't look bad bald. So that's close to that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
You're really on to looks today, Tom.
well, that's what happened yesterday.
It's because he's all...
Eiffel, Elander, yourself. We're really leaning into this.
They made me really self-conscious yesterday because I started to think, how do people view me? For instance, today I decided to shower and shave before the show.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of times I'll take 3 days in between showering. But let's go back to what
nobody notices that. But I think because you're on camera, you're more conscious of your appearance, and you need to stop worrying about it.
I have a dent here. Guys, what's going on?
On your best day, you're only going to be so good.
Guys, what's going on with the bowl game this year, for instance, right?
Brian, bowl game?
Hang on. Brian, what is the projected bowl right now for the Vols?
They got them playing Miami in the Gator Bowl.
Because this is what Holly's...
Or whatever they're calling it now.
This is what Holly's talking about. I was talking with a friend of mine today. It's in the ticket business. The belief is he thinks Tennessee fans are still really going to travel to that bowl game.
Yeah.
And they're going to have a high level of interest in it. Probably 15 or 20,000 people, if they play Miami, will go and watch that game. What say you, John Adams? And that's what Holly's talking about. We become a playoff or nothing thing, or have we? Or are people still going to choose to enjoy the sport and not turn it into the trophy culture thing?
I just don't see a lot of people going to Jacksonville for a bowl game.
Really?
No.
With my man Doug and Jaxie, the artist formerly known as Doug and Jaxie, who doesn't call us anymore. What happened to Doug and Jaxie, bro? You still talk to him?
Who?
A couple months ago I have, but it's been a few weeks.
Yeah, we don't hear from Doug and Jaxie.
Well, Tennessee's made that bowl trip before. It could depend on how the season ends. If Tennessee wins out,
yes,
the fans will come back. But Jacksonville, I think if you were playing in Orlando, they would travel. I don't think they will travel to Jacksonville. It's kind of chilly in Jacksonville. I live there that time of year.
What kind of weather would you expect to get, like in January there?
I would say
70?
57, overcast, and maybe some rain.
Well, hell, that sounds inviting. Let's pack up the family. Matt, what do you say? Because my buddy thinks 15 to 20,000 people will still go support the Vols.
Yeah, that's probably right. That's probably what you'd get, yeah.
Will you be among them?
No.
They traveled well to Jacksonville before when they played in bowl games down there.
I know,
but Butch Jones.
But we're in a different world now.
Brian, you got a good club, by the way. The Jags have a good club.
Okay,
so
Holly, excuse me, but Holly, she used a word that I hadn't heard about much associated with college football, referring to Tennessee's postseason, off-season, when Nico left and things were kind of, it's a pretty volatile situation. People weren't happy. Who's going to be your quarterback? All that kind of stuff. And she said it kind of gave to be a kind of a, people look this as like a grace period, like, hey, this rough time, got to get things together. I don't believe grace periods. People may say this is a grace period, or they may say, well, we understand the situation. This will be kind of an off year, but we'll bounce back. No, once the games start, that all goes away.
You told me that in the summer, John.
You're expected to win. No matter what. If you're UT and you're playing the SEC schedule Tennessee is playing, you're expected to cash in on it. It did last year. It didn't this year, even though it had a better quarterback, and it did last year.
You told me that in the summer. I argued with you. It turns out you're right. Because they got in here. Joey Aguilar looked like something he wasn't, which is okay. He's an okay player. But he looked like, man, this guy's really going to be a hitting home run in this offense. He's been pretty good. He's
better than what you had, Tony. He's better than Nico.
I agree with that. Yeah.
He's better than Joe Milton.
Nico was a flatliner. He's given the season life.
Yeah, quarterback is not your problem. I know just because he had 3 turnovers against Oklahoma, that was not how he's played all year. And how did he play against Georgia?
But you know what people are looking at? And again, this is a fair thing to say about him. The interception in the Alabama game completely changed the game. And his first half last week, John, and his first half last week completely altered that game. And in this league, coaches and quarterbacks are judged by 2 or 3 plays. It's just how it is, whether it's fair or not. And I'm not ripping the kid. I think he's been a really great story. I'm not counting on him to go to Florida and lead me to victory if there's any kind of environment down there, especially if it's like maybe if it's like a noon game or something and you're down there just and it's a leisurely game like Matt said and there's 35,000 people there. Okay, fine.
Tony.
Yeah.
I would rather have Joey Aguilar at quarterback than DJ Lagway, and he was supposed to be a superstar this year. Matt, he threw 5 interceptions in one game.
Do you agree, Matt, or disagree with that? Where are you?
Aguilar's had a much better year than Lagway, absolutely.
If Lagway's hurt,
Aguilar actually practiced more with Tennessee than Lagway did with Florida.
That's the truth. That's the era we're in.
I mean, wasn't Mateer like the top portal quarterback?
He was.
I mean,
yes, he was.
And I think Aguilar's had a better year than him. Obviously, Mateer got hurt.
Yep.
But he wasn't having great numbers before then. He was just carrying an offense because he was their entire run game too. But he's not a very good passer. I mean, Aguilar's been much better. Aguilar's been as basically as good as you could have hoped for. And he wasn't good against Oklahoma. Best defense you're going to face. Didn't have a great night at Alabama. The Georgia game's the one that got away. He deserved to be the winning quarterback that game. He was more than good enough to win that game.
So I just don't think the problem is quarterback for Tennessee. I mean, Tennessee, based on the season Joey Aguilar has had, could go 10-2. If Tennessee had last year's defense, it wouldn't have lost to Oklahoma.
Yeah, but John, you have what you have in this sport, you know?
I know, but we're talking about quarterbacks. We're evaluating quarterbacks. Yeah. His play has been above average for the Heupel era. It's Hendon Hooker, then it's Joey Aguilar. Then
I'll tell you this, Sean.
Yeah.
You give Oklahoma Tennessee's quarterback Saturday night, they beat the absolute hell out of the Vols.
I don't think so.
You put Aguilar over there on their sideline, and he would have ripped our defense apart.
Oklahoma does not have great offensive talent. It doesn't have great running backs. It doesn't have great receivers.
Well, we made them look okay in the second half when it mattered.
Well,
and
they make every receiver look okay.
What's crazy too, though,
for like 150 yards, they ran the ball for 200.
And they ran the
passing game. What are you talking about? Receivers look good.
But no,
they throw 5-yard curl.
I said their offense.
Well, but they got 43 of those yards right there on that one play there at the.
They have a kid at quarterback that literally can't throw the ball, and we lost to him. That's the reality of their game. I think that's why that game infuriated people so much, because that kid cannot throw the ball. I mean, every pass looks laborious.
If he would have,
he can't throw it, and we couldn't run it.
And we couldn't run it. That's something. And something had to give. And the turnovers are what swung the deal. Really, a missed block. That's why these coaches hate playing true freshmen in key spots, even though David Sanders is going to be an awesome player, because it's 1 or 2 plays, guys, that decides these things. It's 1 or 2 plays. It's a crazy game, man. Just nutty game.
I think, Tony, in one similarity between this year and last, I think the schedule, not just how well Joey Aguilar played initially, but the schedule Tennessee plays, it tends to raise hope.
Yep.
Tennessee does not have a good win.
No.
Not one good win. Its best win is against 5-4 Mississippi State, which just won its first SEC game in 2 years. That's his best win.
Well, it's a crazy. Yeah, because now their opponents have 2 SEC wins, and one of them was that Arkansas Mississippi State stink bowl that might have been one of the lowest level SEC games ever played. When you look at the stats from that game, I think Arkansas, seriously, guys, committed like 190 yards of penalties, some crazy number like that.
It was good. It was at 183 the last time I heard them say.
I'm going to look it up.
It was good offensive though. A lot of.
You had that Auburn Mississippi State game that was 3-2 in 2008. Let's not compare that to. I mean, come on, Tone.
3-2
being
in
a prisoner of the
2008.
moment.
I can give you a Tennessee game. Tennessee and Auburn.
How about Tennessee and Mississippi State in the Pruitt year? Which Auburn
2010 game,
of, John?
the 2010 game,
88.
When Brian Maurer went overhead.
Yeah, the Maurer game was
the lawn dart.
Incredible.
This game was at Auburn. It
Lawn
was
dart.
Jonathan Crompton was Tennessee quarterback.
Let's go.
Oh wait, same year. Yeah, Auburn played 2 of the worst SEC games ever in the same year.
Auburn won that game. Auburn or no? Did Auburn? Yeah, I think Auburn won that game.
Yeah,
Tennessee had the ball on the ball was on Auburn's side of the field literally the entire second half.
The whole second half.
Let's go.
Yeah.
I was just kept thinking, well, at some point they'll just break through, and they never did.
And Tony thinks a 38-35 game's worse than that.
What about the Matt? Did you watch any of that Auburn Kentucky game? I was 10
I saw the highlights. Yeah,
there were
only about 5
highlights.
minutes worth, but Jesus,
About 5 seconds.
Brutal. John, who do you? What's LSU doing with their coaching search? Do you have any insight there?
No.
I'm being serious. Actually,
no, I haven't heard anything on it. Oh, I think LSU wants Lane Kiffin. I think what LSU, I really believe LSU would say, okay, we'll just wait.
What?
Huh?
Hello and welcome into our next call.
How you doing, Tony?
You cannot say to John Adams to shut up, Titans Bill. That's not nice of you.
I was answering Matt's question,
you deflated him, Titans Bill.
Where did you come from anyway? Are you in the walls or
18
something?
penalties for 193 yards is what they finished with. And Mississippi State had 4
All
penalties
right,
for 30.
I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry, but you guys just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Can I say
That's
something
kind of what
now?
we're here for, isn't it?
Well, Titans Bill, you can talk now. Go ahead.
We're gonna shut everybody off.
Yeah, and so
Titans Bill has the floor. Hit it, Bill.
Okay, first of all, guys, don't ambush me, because I know how you guys are. You verbally like to beat the mucus drainage out of me, so don't do that, please. All right, on this other note, the Titans made a big trade. Well, I don't know if I would call it a big trade, but they traded Tremont Jones to the Ravens. But I'm looking for them to make even more, to do some more moving. I'm looking for Calvin Ridley to be with another club, either with the Steelers or the Giants. Probably Arden Key will probably be with another club. Only two players that will not be traded will be let's say Ward and Simmons. But outside of that, I believe Key will be with another club, and probably Ridley. I'll say Ridley will either be with the Steelers or Giants. Anybody there?
We're letting you have the floor, buddy. You have the floor. You have the floor. The show is in your hands. You have the floor. Nobody's talking. You have the floor, Bill. Did you say key?
That's what I said. And I'll tell you what, I'm looking forward to another firing in the NFL. That bookworm that's the head coach of the Miami Flippers, he'll be the next one to get the axe. That head coach that looks like a bookworm.
Bill, do you think that Brian's too wordy? I want the truth here.
Yeah, he's too wordy.
Bill, I apologize for I was really rambling.
He told you to shut up, John.
I know, but
what do you
he-
mean? You don't apologize.
Yeah, but hey, look, didn't I apologize? Didn't I apologize?
No, you said
John?
let me talk. You said let me talk and don't ambush me. Is that apologizing?
Well, I apologized to him for telling him to shut up, okay?
Bill, nobody on here
What?
ambushes anybody. The last couple of times I've blown you up, I've counted you down. I'm going like this, Bill. Look. 5, 4, 3, 2. That's not an ambush. 1. You're out of here. That's not an ambush. That's coming right at you. It's full frontal. Matt, do you find the overtime, extra time to be illiterate or worthwhile?
Both. It's the best part of the show.
I was really kind of stunned.
I'm actually disappointed he apologized. I wish he would have stood on business there.
Stayed right with me here.
I didn't see that coming. Has Titans Bill ever told someone on the show to shut up before?
Hey, are the two girls from Jersey, South Jersey, my two Philly girls, John, are they any good for the Lady Vols? Because they look pretty good in that exhibition game.
Yeah.
The two guards.
Yeah.
And they're high level players.
One
Or
of
is
them,
one
one of them is really high level. Yeah.
Kind of like the Boozer twins. Same thing, right? Duke,
Yeah.
one of them got all the... and the other one gets a scholarship. You have to give the other one a scholarship, right?
Sure.
Yeah. 1,000 ton load. Shut up, John, with a smiley face. Full frontal, Basilio. Using the term full frontal on the air. Didn't think that would happen. I'd rather listen to you guys ramble than Bill. Please answer about LSU. What's LSU going to do? Somebody wanted to know.
Oh, that's what I was talking about when Titans Bill ambushed me. What?
And thank you, Jennifer Morris, for the scouting report. Go ahead.
I think LSU believes it can get Lane Kiffin, and it's probably worrying right now because it probably doesn't have a great backup plan.
How would they get Kiffin after that governor did that nutty thing and now Woodward's gone? And I mean, how do you hire a coach to that?
It's really challenging. And
did that guy make a... What is that? Is that guy really dumb? He thinks they're spending state money on a head coach? Nobody spends state taxpayer money. What was he doing?
He didn't have a clue about how college football worked.
Why
Not
would
a
you
clue. I don't know what he was
before
saying.
an open microphone and say that?
He just didn't have a clue. I mean, he should have run that by somebody with just a modicum of knowledge. But when you look at LSU, people think a guy who's become kind of a hot name. I'm not exactly sure why, except I think he looks like an SEC football coach.
Yes,
is John Summerall at Tulane. But is he ready to be the coach at LSU? If you put his resume up against, say, a Brian Kelly's,
we're back to what we were talking about in the first hour, which is this.
I think him and Auburn are the fit there.
There you go.
Well, yeah,
Summerall.
but don't you
I hear
agree?
Dabo to Auburn. It makes sense. He's an Alabama graduate.
I know, but
he's long in the tooth at Clemson. It's over for him. But here's a problem: if Dabo goes to the SEC,
no, it doesn't make any sense.
They'll be firing him in 3 years.
Yeah, why would you go back? I mean,
From his perspective, it makes sense. From their perspective, it makes no sense.
But Summerall, here you're hiring somebody you don't know how good they might be. He does look like an SEC coach, but what's he actually done?
Jennifer Morris texts me, says, I will always sponsor a show that goes off the rails on a daily basis. She said, you accomplished this. And Titans Bill came in hot today. 2 observations.
So actually, Titans Bill, you're correct. He shouldn't have apologized.
Right.
He should have said, I'm just sick of this.
He said, shut up, John.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to get on.
Yeah.
He didn't know his mic was hot.
How long had he been holding?
Who speaks on a hot mic? Who does that around here? I mean, that doesn't happen here. And let's go back to our phones. Hello and welcome in. You're on the air.
Shut up, Tony. Shut up, Tony. Shut up, Tony.
Thank you. That ought to be the way all calls start from now on, just telling everybody to shut up.
Has Titans Bill ever told you to shut up? And you ramble more than I do.
Interesting.
I don't even know why I called, man. I forgot. After he started talking about the Titans trading some Tremont Jones or something.
Tremont Jones! I mean, what do you get for him? Like a bag of footballs? Deflated footballs?
I'm sure it was a haul. I'm sure he's going to turn the organization around. I had forgotten. No, wait. I was talking about LSU with a friend of mine a couple days ago. Honestly, if you're LSU, why don't you go back to Ed Orgeron, give him a 3-year contract for like $5 million total? He'll take it. Spend your money on assistants and on your roster.
I think Ed Orgeron retired on the job before he was fired.
But he has a good point. The model is you can get anybody, plug them in, as long as you put Joe Brady as his offensive coordinator back in the day.
That's what I was talking about earlier, about having the best roster and the 50th best coach.
Or you can do what Indiana did and hire a coach that's so good he has the 75th best roster according to the metrics. And he's out there beating the absolute hell out of everybody, somehow.
I just don't think this is sustainable. Like, everybody talks about, I know these programs have these millionaire boosters. Everybody talks about them like, oh, you can just walk up to them and they're just going to cut you a check for millions of dollars. And that's not how it works. Like, this money isn't infinite. And they're not just going to come off of it just by asking. I mean, I don't think you can continue giving these coaches these like $13 million deals for a year with these enormous buyouts. Like, then you've got to hire another coach and pay that money.
That's right.
And you still got to pay your roster. You still got to pay your rosters. Like, this is when we start to get into like the private equity.
That's exactly right. Lee told me that in a text the other day, and he's right, John. They keep this up. Private equity is going to own college football. That's because they're going to have to go for that or the Saudi oil money. The Saudis will be funding college football. That is no joke because they are fiscally. Danny White, he raised a lot of money, Lee. He spends it like he's drunk. I mean, I'm glad he raises it. He spends it like he's drunk.
Oh, the Saudis are already on line one, waiting for Danny just to pick up whenever he decides to, because there's a chance if he doesn't, if people don't curb this, that's where it's going.
John, imagine a world where we're giving people like 70, 80 million, 90 million to go away. And they're praising Penn State because the 60 million can be paid out over time. Whoop-de-damn-do. Fire me all day if you're going to do that.
Well, see, Lee is right. At some point, you keep thinking this is unsustainable. But when you keep breaking out those all wells, Texas A&M, it pays off Jimbo Fisher.
Yeah.
And gets rid of him for $70+ million. And now look at Texas A&M. It might be the best team in the SEC.
But eventually these billionaires are going to get despondent with all this, and he's right about that.
But what if they win? Do you think the Texas A&M boosters will get how much do you think they'll be willing to spend on a roster next year?
I don't understand the mentality. I'm glad it exists because it's fun to watch, but I don't understand the mentality.
What if they win and they're like, that was great, but I'm still not getting an ROI on what I spent, and I'm not going to do it anymore? It's nice and all, but it's too much money.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think this is sustainable.
I don't think it is either, but think about this. When so many times I've heard schools say, we don't have any money. We don't have any more money.
Yeah.
But they always come up with more money.
That was my favorite thing. These guys all cried poor before they started paying the players. They just found that money instantly, paying the players. Where'd that come from? I thought you guys didn't have any money. I love when I talk like that, by the way. Go ahead, Lee. I'm sorry.
I think ultimately, like, this has to go to a pro model eventually. Like, coaches are important, but ultimately there's not very much difference in, like, the sixth best coach and, like, the 36th best coach. There's not really much. Like, players are going to win, and that's in professional sports and in college sports. Your rosters are going to win you titles.
I agree with that totally. I think there are a few coaches. Kirby Smart makes a difference on game day. I think most coaches are a liability on game day.
I think that's the truth. You know, it's like this. Like, to kind of bring this back down to Heupel, like, and everybody, like, this ridiculous stuff about getting rid of Heupel. My goodness, look. I personally don't really think he's ever going to win a title or any sort here. I don't. But that being said, there's nobody you can just call up that's going to guarantee you that anyway. I'm not even sure, like, if you could get Nick Saban or Urban Meyer in this current landscape, they're not going to guarantee you winning anything. I think it's changed too much.
The trophy culture thing is we're all going to have to decide what we want out of these sports, okay? Here's what I want. I want a football team I can be proud of that has a chance to make the playoffs more years than not. Some years you're going to get there. Some years you're not. Now, does Heupel have some holes in his game? Does he need to clean it up a little bit? Sure he does.
But
he does.
What coach doesn't have holes in his game?
That's the point, and that's the point he's making, and you're right. But people get to the point where they're tired of this guy. He doesn't do any press conferences. He doesn't dress right. He's team sloppy, and he's sloppy. You know, and when that kind of stuff starts happening, that means you're telling me you want to get rid of the guy. That's all that's code for. I'm sick of looking at you.
Yeah, so here's my take on the Oklahoma game. Look, I'm pissed off like a lot of people. Like, I know that game was only like a 3-point spread. It was kind of like a coin flip, but I actually, despite that, I thought there was a pretty narrow path for Oklahoma to get out of there with a win, and we gave it to them by turning the ball over and making mistakes in the first half. You know, if we've got a lead and they're in a negative game script, Tier's not bringing that team back. Like, if he's got to be a drawback passer in the second half, I think it's over for him. You know.
Well, you said a really interesting thing on the winners and losers presented by Dos Equis /VIP play the other night, Lee, which is this. Everybody blames Mateer's injury for his lack of passing. You said he's exactly the guy he was at Washington State. He's an erratic thrower of the football who every once in a while will make a play, but he'll do some damn stupid things in a football game. John, him throwing that slant pass in traffic with about 4 minutes left, when all they have to do is run the clock out, it's one of the dumber things. They deserve to lose when they did that, John.
Their offensive coordinator, though, that came with you from Washington State, that's kind of how he plays.
They're reckless.
He was reckless there.
Yes.
Yeah. I think Arbuckle is really well thought of as far as scheming and stuff, but he's got to be pulling his hair out because I just don't think Mateer's capable of playing within any sort of structure. He's basically like one read and that's it. But, I mean, people loved him in the portal. Like, they fell in love with him. I didn't really get it. I do think Aguilar is better than he is. But let me ask you this whole conversation about Aguilar, right?
Yeah.
And do you go out and get another portal quarterback and all this? Look, and in no way am I trying to diminish Joey Aguilar, but I do think there are a number of quarterbacks out there, and even G5 schools like Aguilar came from, that you can bring into Tennessee and put in this system, in Heupel's system, and they're probably going to have a decent amount of success and beat average to mediocre teams and look pretty good doing it. Like, I just think that's the setup in the Heupel system. Like, I think most quarterbacks will look pretty good. Like, you ask, like, would you have Lagway or Aguilar? I think Lagway would be probably great in this system. I think he look a whole lot better playing here than he would in Florida. It's just, can you get that, like, can you get that quarterback that has a ceiling to where you can overcome, like, defensive deficiencies and beat an Oklahoma or a Georgia or an Alabama?
I think you're right, Lee. I think there are a bunch of guys that never get the opportunity that Aguilar's gotten this year that could shine in this system. That's the thing he's shown me here, and I'm not diminishing him.
But Nico didn't shine in it.
No, not everybody's perfect for it, John. You got to be a good long ball thrower. You have to be able to process. I mean, there are certain things you got to be able to do.
But that being able to process and being a pretty good long ball thrower, that there aren't that many guys that are great long ball throwers out there.
I think there's some guys whose names we've never heard that, if given a shot at a spot like this, could do it. But
that gets back.
Like if you dropped Aguilar into Florida's system 3 months before they started the season, do you think Florida would be better? Because I don't think they would. I think he struggled pretty bad in what Napier was trying to do there.
Yeah, he's perfect for this. You know, the thing about Napier, though, Lee, anybody would have struggled with that guy's offense. I don't even know what the hell they were doing.
I think so, too. I think that's right,
yeah.
But DJ Lagway, what I
Thank
saw
you,
of
Lee.
him,
Great talking to you, man.
what I saw of him last year, and was very impressed with him.
Yeah.
The more I saw of him,
and
I don't think it's all because of Florida's system or because Billy Napier wasn't a good offensive coach, which he wasn't.
Yeah.
This guy's got a lot of flaws. He doesn't protect the football, and he's slow to get some of the same things we talked about with Nico. It's what DJ Lagway can do.
I'll tell you what, man, he underthrew that ball that had to be reviewed the other day, which was really sad because they would have beaten Georgia. Matt, back to me. I said I want to see a football program that competes hard week in and week out, doesn't embarrass itself, which is what Heupel's teams pretty much do, and can compete for playoff berths. Because I think if you get into the playoffs enough, eventually you'll win some games and make some noise and all that stuff. And somebody comes up over here on the YouTube page and said, so basically Tony wants to be a Kansas State fan. Why, Matt, am I a Kansas State fan when I say that into a microphone? What about that, Matt, smacks of Kansas State? Is that what I'm saying, Matt?
I mean, I don't think Kansas State can expect to compete for playoff spots.
Okay,
I mean,
just checking.
I mean, if they win the Big 12, I mean, you can. But,
Okay, just checking.
Like,
I mean, what are we doing
making
here?
Playoffs, I say 2 out of every 5 years is kind of reasonable. When it goes to 16, probably 3 out of every 5 is kind of a nice goal. So, and to do that, that means you're beating teams that matter because you're going to be playing 9 league games. And you're going to have to win, at least 9, games a year to do that.
That's
so you're
exactly right.
You're beating some quality teams. Probably have to beat Alabama. So yeah.
I don't think most people see it that way, though. I think most people think if you have Tennessee's resources, and I think more than half of the SEC schools, their fan bases think they should be in the playoff every year.
Hughie told
and but that's the problem. If every fan base thinks that, but they're not, they can't all do that. It doesn't matter if thing all paying $8 to $10 million for coaches, $20 million for you can all do that, but that's not going to put you in the playoffs, and the fans are still going to demand it, and that's the problem we're going to have going forward.
The math's never going to work, and that's what Watson Brown told me. He said, you can feel sorry for these guys. This is a couple weeks ago on the air. He said, but I don't. He said, I'd love for somebody to have written me a check like that and fired me. He said, you can feel sorry. He said, these guys are making huge amounts of money now. And they know that. These guys get a call from their fellow coaches around the league when they get one of these jobs, and they go, you're in the club. You're a multimillionaire now. Doesn't matter what you do. You don't have to lift a finger. You get one of these jobs, John, you get paid that 5 years you get the coach to run the thing either great or off the tracks, or do like Heupel's done, which is somewhere in between great and off the tracks. Okay, he's been pretty good here. But eventually they're going to come for you, and they're going to stroke you a big check that day you're fired. Hey, what a profession. What a profession, man.
Well, no, don't get me wrong, I certainly don't feel sorry for him. When you make that kind of money, anything's fair. If I were making that kind of money and people are ripping me on calling shows.
Rip away.
Well, they rip me anyway. But
right.
if making that kind of, who would? Why would you care? That's one of the reasons you're getting that kind of money, because people care about what your job is and what you do.
That's why my friends at Penn State who told me that James Franklin's thin skin, just like my friends at Vanderbilt that covered it down there, said James Franklin would call and say, take this out of an article. Yeah, literally, like on the team bus. I saw what you just posted. Now, I mean, what the hell, man?
What world is he in?
Yeah. What world are you in?
Well, then he needs to stay away from the Auburn job.
I would say that's accurate.
But if you're making that kind of money, how can you expect not to be open to criticism?
Great question. Great question.
Did I ramble too much?
No. It's the truth.
Okay.
And it's like it's like I look at all these gigs and I'm like, I mean, what a world we live in. They've never expected more from fans around the whole league. And Matt's right. You got 10 teams next year that will expect to make the playoffs. And until you think about it, you really don't think about it. Alabama fans think they're making the playoffs every year. Texas fans think they're making the playoffs every year. Texas A&M fans, Georgia fans. We haven't even gotten to LSU yet. You, Tennessee fans, think you're making the playoffs every year. Oklahoma fans think they're going to make the playoffs every year. That's 7. We haven't even mentioned Florida. That's 8.
Auburn
fans think they're making the playoffs every year. That's 9.
Ole Miss, as long as Kiffin's there.
And that's 10.
Missouri is going to get that way.
I mean, they're kind of Missouri and South Carolina were on the fringes this year. I mean, they had aspirations of doing that.
I know, and now almost call him Frankie Jr. Beamer is Matt does that. Beamer now is catching heat at South Carolina. That team was terribly overrated in preseason.
Okay, so Jeffrey Stewart says the following. This is what everybody's saying, though. This is good. Jeffrey, I appreciate you being our guinea pig here. Or Exhibit 1A, if you will. And Titans Bill, I hope we're not rambling too much. Where does our NIL rank? It's about 12, Jeffrey, if you want to know. It's about 12, according to the people that follow it now. It used to be way on up there. It's about 12 now. Where does our fan base rank? Our fan base is way on up the totem pole, no question.
Yeah,
it's probably our best asset here, truthfully. Where does our history rank? Top 10 to 12. If you go by winning, right? Top 10 to 12. Is that right, John?
Yeah, but if you go for championships, though.
Right. That's exactly right. That's why it's 10 to 12. It's somewhere like that. Where does our history, where does our overall recruiting footprint rank? It's not great. Because we don't have a great state, but it's pretty good.
I think it is great.
It's pretty good.
I think it is great.
Where there's no reason not to expect to be a top 12 team. But see, that's not the rub. The rub is you're not expecting to be a top 12 team. The rub is you got to get into the top 11 plus Notre Dame. So really, you're trying to be a top 10 team, which in this league is going to put you on the fringe every year. When you think about our history, think about where we are. You're going to be right around the cut line every year, just like we were this year.
That's why they will go to a 16-team playoff.
Yes, and then when you go to a 16-team playoff, you should make it how many times out of 16 here, John?
4 out of 5.
Yep, just like my man Sean Sinclair tomorrow, 4 out of 5 dentists recommend Trident. Let's go back to the phones. 4 out of 5. Hello and welcome in. Hello and welcome into our next call. You are live on the air. Hi.
Hey, Tony.
Hey, Richard. Welcome in, buddy.
Oh, man, nothing much. Just down here in Alabama country again for the week. So, handling a little business. But, hey, wonderful show. Great show yesterday. I was actually on hold when you decided to call the show quits because you had enough. You and Bino were kind of up to your head and all the negativity. And so I understand you're like, okay, that's enough because I'm sure y'all were thinking probably the next caller was going to come in and just be super negative too. So
interesting.
But hey, I wasn't going to call in and be negative on Josh Heupel or anything like that. The guy makes mistakes in games sometimes, and he's in his 8th year as a head coach, and he's still young, he's still learning, he's still growing. I think we got a pretty good guy, and I'm willing to continue to let him grow and learn as he continues. Because believe me, there's a whole lot of stiffs out there, and there's going to be a lot of these teams that are firing coaches are going to get worse coaches than they just fired. So, talking about the game, though, honestly, y'all made some good points yesterday. Yeah, regardless of some of the early mistakes that kept Oklahoma in the game, like the fumble return for a touchdown, various things like that, the game did only come down to 2 plays. It came down to our field goal kicker missing a chip shot field goal, and then the interception at the end of the half that gave them 3 points. It should have been 13-13 at half instead of us being down by 6, which means when we score the first touchdown in the second half, we're always a touchdown ahead, and we're never behind in that second half. And, Tony, that makes a big difference in, how the game plays out. And just those 2 plays, really, really hurt that team to win that game. But also, the one negative I would have in that game that I was more upset about coaching than I was anything else is even when Tennessee got the lead, Tony, and they're up 17-16, you knew that Oklahoma team could not throw the ball down the field. The only way that Oklahoma team can score on your team outside of the turnovers as a defensive coach is running the football and running the quarterback, throwing short passes. And, Tony, I don't understand, again, why we said we allowed Oklahoma to get behind their pads and run the football and run the quarterback and just throw short passes and keep the ball away from our offense. That was malpractice to me, the biggest coaching malpractice in that whole game.
Any thoughts, guys? Matt, thoughts?
Yeah, not being able to stop the run was just a killer. And Mateer, they went a lot of quarterback design stuff there in the second half, which they hadn't done since his injury, and we just couldn't get them down. There's way too many open holes. They whipped us up front, their defensive line especially, but their offensive line got the better of our defensive line, and that was disappointing. I agree. It's you let them run it and keep your offense off the field.
Yeah. I mean, and you knew what they were going to do. There was never a safety playing in the box. There should have been, Tony, 8 guys on the line of scrimmage that entire second half. With our crowd and the noise and how fever pitched they were after we got the lead, that's when you should have been begging Oklahoma to try to take shots down the field. And there should have been 8 guys in the box. They should have never been able to run that quarterback whatsoever. And we continued just to let them. I don't understand it, but that's my one, to me, coaching malpractice in that game.
In your humble opinion, is he going to move off this guy this offseason? Or are we going to keep rewarding this?
Tony,
Richard?
I don't know. Like you said, a lot depends on how we finish. What happens at Florida? What happens at Vanderbilt? Do we go out and get lit up by them? I don't know. I think if that happens, then yeah, he's going to have to. Just like, when you think about, Philip Fulmer didn't want to let Randy Sanders go that 1 year, but he had no choice. Sometimes as a coach, you have no choice, and you got to cut bait with an assistant coach, just based off of how the season goes. So it really depends on those last 2 games, and I don't know. It's hard to say. Maybe he'll get one of these small head coaching jobs, because there'll be a lot of those opening up too, because I don't know where all these vacancies are going to be filled from major colleges. So it's going to be a lot of small jobs opening up, because you're going to have to go hire a bunch of these mid-major coaches to give them a chance.
I love the model, Richard. And you know what? If those mid-major guys do what Cignetti's done, there are going to be more mid-major guys get opportunities. It's going to make the sport very interesting if that happens.
And the one good thing about Cignetti, he's been a head coach a long time at different levels. So he's learned as he's grown as a head coach. Mm-hmm. And that's why I'd like to see us give I'm like you. I think Josh Heupel has a wonderful ceiling. There's an opportunity for him to get better, and he's done pretty well. but he's only been a head coach for this is now 8th year. And so he's still learning and growing and maturing in this role at the highest level. And let's face it, Tony, is the SEC harder than it's ever been since we've been following college football all the years we have? Is it harder now than ever when Philip Fulmer was roaming the sideline?
John, is it a harder sport now? And Richard, thank you. Is it harder now to win, John?
Yeah, there's more. It's harder to win a championship. I think it's more apparent. If you go back to the 1990s,
yeah.
You look at the other programs in the SEC. When Tennessee and Florida were at the top, they were flourishing. Alabama was in disarray. Was hiring a bunch of guys named Mike, hiring them and firing them.
Yep.
Georgia had Ray Goff.
Oh my God, what a
wow. Auburn. Auburn was so screwed up. It got rid of Terry Bowden. He won 20 of his first 21 games.
Yes.
With the team on probation, and they
threw him out.
They didn't like him. They didn't like.
Well, he made a statement. He called them an agrarian. He said they want a coach. This is an agrarian society, and they want a coach that plays on the earth. It's one of the greatest lines ever.
Terry Bowden is a smart coach.
Very smart coach. Very cool guy.
Yeah, good coach.
I love him.
You go back and you look at, and then also you've brought Texas.
Yep.
Since the 1990s, you didn't have. In the 1990s, Texas A&M. You didn't have Texas A&M. Texas and Oklahoma in the league. And then we get back to the thing, it's harder to stockpile talent. You just don't have the depth that you did before where you could bring an all-SEC player off the bench. But really, in the 90s, the SEC had some really... Curly Hallman was at LSU.
Oh, my gosh.
Good guy.
Where was Larry and Moe?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what a clown that guy was.
He had he got fired.
How about Jerry DiNardo?
Jerry DiNardo.
He was there too. DiNardo.
He got,
the nerdiest bastard ever.
Curly Hallman.
Ray Goff.
Curly Hallman hit the trifecta. His wife left him. He got fired. His dog died.
And all the same year?
Uh-huh.
Damn.
Don't mean to end the program on a downer, but...
And back then, you didn't even get a huge buyout either.
Oh, no.
Say one for Curly.
Yeah.
All right, so...
I guess I had a coach get fired over at breakfast over his Wheaties.
Let me tell you something about about Nick Saban. Go look at... We used to joke about how his family treated Fork at one time. Go look at some of the guys that have gone through his organization. I'm not talking about the image rehab guys like the Derek Dooleys of the world, the people that Jimmy Sexton says, hey, will you, it's like, will you park this guy here and do me a favor? Signetti was one of his recruiting coordinators at one time, Matt, and he hired him when he was in his 50s to go down there and do that. Saban is a smart cookie if you look at the people that have come through his deal. He couldn't stand. That's why our guy needs to learn this now. Because I'm with our previous caller, Richard. Josh Heupel could be a great coach, but he's got to adhere to the Saban principle. You better open up your Rolodex, brah. Kids, what I'm talking about is your contacts on your phone, not your Rolodex. You cannot just keep hiring your friends. When your special teams job opens up, you don't hire a guy that's on your campus because you like him, like we just did. This guy has done nothing. No offense to him, besides make pretty good money being a special teams coach here. Signetti, think about that. He hires him like later in his career, late 40s or whatever he was in, to be his recruiting guy. That's the type of person he had. He hated Lane Kiffin passionately, but hired him. He put a guy in there in the Texas coach.
Sarkisian, yeah.
Kirby Dom. All these guys. What was the guy's name that wasn't a great head coach at South Carolina, but he was down there.
Muschamp.
Will Muschamp.
Hey, Josh Heupel, you putting your family and friends there, brah, you're going to get your ass fired. And I think you're a pretty good coach. You have got to widen your net if you're Josh Heupel, or he's not going to be here in 2 years. I'm convinced of that. He's got an off season here, and he's got decisions to make. But you got to get yourself some help. Matt, if this guy doesn't get himself help, he's not going to be here. He's just not.
Yeah, well, Brian Keller didn't get himself any help at LSU. He kind of cut ties with some of the people that helped build that thing. And then he made just awful hires, and it got him fired, and he is a lot more accomplished a coach as Heupel is.
The league's
so yeah,
hard.
Heupel's got to upgrade his staff. That really, in this era where the margins are so small, you're only as good as your assistant coaches. You've got to have really good assistant coaches that maybe you don't trust them as much, and maybe they challenge you on things in coaches meetings and make things kind of uncomfortable. But you might need that. You might need to be uncomfortable with your coaches so you're not uncomfortable with your fans.
Well, that go back to we brought it up before, but the 2019 LSU team wasn't the defensive coordinator Dave Aranda?
And the offensive coordinator
offensive course, Joe Brady.
Joe Brady. Two brilliant guys.
And now they're talking about Joe Brady being a head coach. I don't know about that.
Two brilliant guys.
Yeah, but it's coordinators.
That's
right.
And
Ed Orgeron, here's the key part of that. Ed Orgeron didn't meddle.
Well, like Matt said, he didn't even have a headset plugged in.
He said,
"You guys do it,
Dave. You do it, Joe.
Yeah.
You do it."
Here's a question,
I'm going to motivate the team coming out of the locker room.
Take my shirt off.
Here's a question, Matt, for you. Here's a question, Matt.
Love Coach O. What a maniac.
If this guy could get, the best offensive coordinator in the country, our guy, would he hire him and step aside and not call the plays, Matt?
I think he wants to run this system. I mean, and I'm not sure I want to go off of this system either. To be honest, I think you need to upgrade the defensive coordinator spot, but you definitely need somebody as a play caller that you trust. But I don't really want to change the offense. But I do think you need a play caller so Heupel can do some of the game management stuff, or you have somebody up there who kind of does the game management stuff for you, and he kind of stays the play caller. I'm not. That might be the way to go anyway. Because Heupel's an elite offensive coordinator.
How meddlesome?
He's a head coach too, and you can't do both.
That's what I'm asking you. He's got to figure out what he wants to do. How meddlesome do you think Saban was in their defense, John? I know he coached the secondary during those days. Do you think he had veto power and was calling defensive plays, or was he letting Kirby and Muschamp and those guys do it in his day?
Oh, it was his defense.
So he was not letting.
They were foremans for his defense. Longtime defensive line coach Pete Jenkins called me one time. Remember, I think LSU, Alabama. No, was he at? Gosh, where was he? Maybe it was at LSU. One of Saban's stops, he hired the former Oklahoma coach. What's his name? Gary Gibbs.
Gibbs.
Didn't make it as a head coach, but really acclaimed defensive coordinator, and he hired him. And I remember saying, hey, I told Pete, I said, that looks like a good hire on paper for your defense. He said, well, you need to understand something. He's got the title defensive coordinator, but this is Nick Saban's defense. I just think you ran the defense Nick Saban's way. That's why Kirby Smart, though, is an exception. Will Muschamp, Kirby Smart's a great defensive coach, but Will Muschamp really wasn't. But he had the title of defensive coordinator. I think he did under Saban. Maybe he didn't. He was on his staff. But I think, but you could do it either way. I have a hard time being too critical of the offense. My gosh, they're piling up points and yards. Everybody's talking about what a great offensive coach Eli Drinkwitz is. Well, Josh Heupel has got a better track record for offense than he does.
Here's the thing. By the way, Pete Natko's reporting. LSU has found their new head coach, and their search for a new head coach. They now have a new school president. McNeese State president, Dr. Wade Rouse, has been named the LSU president. Alabama provost Jim Dalton is the new provost and chancellor of Baton Rouge.
Oh.
Great news, good news, bad news.
I have no idea.
The Board of Supervisors just made the big reveal. According to Shay Dixon. I'm not sure who Shay Dixon is, but...
What is that?
Does that entice Lane?
That's my cousin. I'll find out.
Does that entice Lane I almost said Lane Dixon. Does that invite Lane... does that pave the way for Lane Kiffin? I got to learn to speak English here.
I don't know. I'm still not sure Lane Kiffin's leaving Ole Miss. I think he will.
It's not if they're in the playoffs for sure.
What kind of sport has...
And I don't know if he would anyway.
...has a schedule where this doesn't line up? This whole thing is so cockeyed and silly, what they've done.
We need 14 months in the year.
Transfer portal lays right on top of the...
Well, the transfer portal, now, they changed the dates. It's in January.
It's idiotic.
But here's the thing. If you know... Do you think players at the end of the season know who their next team will be? Most of them. If they're planning to leave... You
better be recruiting guys right now.
Yeah. So my point is, you get ready, you talk about people following Tennessee to the bowl, Gator Bowl.
Yeah.
I wonder how many of their players will be following the team to the Gator Bowl.
Hopefully a bunch of our Never mind.
Be a lot more Tennessee players there than Miami's.
And that's the truth.
A guy like Aguilar is going to play in a bowl game because it's probably the last game he ever starts in football.
Carson Beck.
Carson Beck and Reuben Bain will be out of there. Half the Miami team will be gone.
You want Carson Beck playing?
No, not against Tennessee's defense.
Yeah.
He torched Tennessee 2 years. He did.
Boy, he'll throw that.
We made him a damn Heisman candidate. We're the ones that made him a Heisman candidate.
I think Carson Beck has a receding hairline. All right, so on the way out here, gentlemen, any final thoughts? Because you all been incredible.
Keep spending that NIL money.
Yep.
Well, it's just you have Saban defensive coordinator Kirby Smart, Jeremy Pruitt, and one has been great. The other one, I can't believe they were actually compared at one time. Like Tennessee fans, some of them thought we actually had the better guy, but my, how that's changed.
My final thought is: does Danny White for the upper deck seats now charge half?
No, he'll charge double.
Well, you only charge half. I mean, you can only see half the game.
No, but he'll find a way to.
Where did this guy
charge him more?
Who would hang a scoreboard where you can only see half the stadium, John?
He'll call the jumbotron like a thing of beauty or something, and
from the upper deck on. Who
figure
does
a way
that?
to charge more for it.
Matt, will they raise it, Matt? Will they raise that jumbotron, Matt? They have to, right?
I think they have to raise it a little bit. Yeah, you have to, because it's true. Like, you really can't see both baskets when you're up at the top. I get it. That's just silly to think about. Like, you have a seat in a basketball arena, but you can't see both goals.
I think fans feel too entitled now. If you can see one of the goals. If you got a clear view of one goal, and then you hear the crowd reaction on a shot at the other end, what's the beef?
Or maybe what you could do is you could pipe in Mike Keith up there and kind of have the speakers right on top of you. Okay. While Sterling Hinton's talking to the people in the lower bowl, you just keep the Vol Network on in the upper bowl. Till we meet again, for all those behind the scenes, I love you. I appreciate you. It's been incredible. I want to thank my friends at TLD Logistics for providing whatever this was we just did, and John Adams for being here today, and Jennifer Morris for presenting that legend. Tomorrow, Cinco's in the house. Tomorrow will be a Wednesday with Watson Brown. We'll unpack what happened with Tennessee. By the way, for folks that hit us up today over on YouTube, why don't you hit the like button every day? The first thing you got to do when you come in there tomorrow. If I start seeing people commenting and you haven't hit the like button, I'm going to blow you all up tomorrow. I'm going to just cast everybody out. I'm going to say away from me. I'm going to cast everybody out of the room unless you hit the like button. Is that fair, John? Is that a fair thing to?
Not really, but who has to be fair?
I mean, Danny's letting you see half the court, and you pay full price.
Do people pay anything to listen to you, Tony?
Not a bad idea. I've never really... Subscriptions. Is that the way to go? If I went to a subscription model...
Would
Hubbard's getting paid over there on his subscription model. You think we could do that?
Would Titans Bill subscribe?
Titans Bill. Probably not after today.
I apologize again for rambling the way I was. It's ridiculous.
Till we meet again, I'm going to go walk in the park. Love you. Peace. All right, let's run back today's activity, shall we? And it was an activity. I don't know if it was exercise, cardio. It was activity, though. Here you go. Right back at you. John's making me yawn. You found the Tony Basilio stream at TonyBasilio.com or on
You're
your
listening
smart...
to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Tony Basilio proudly brings to you the Tuesday edition. And we welcome you in. We're fired up, folks, and prepared. Kudos to Alex Myers last night, who ran this show like I would have with an itchy trigger finger for all the Maroons that are out there. It's been a day of everybody snapping on everybody since the Oklahoma game. And, Matt, nothing like a good loss like that, to get everybody at each other's throats. And that's where we are as I bring TGMD on a day where John Adams joins us. And here's the question for today. Aren't we overreacting just a little bit to the Oklahoma loss? I mean, people are telling me yesterday that Josh Heupel's lost the program, and I got a few texts from people today saying, well, I'm talking to people inside the program, and he's lost the program. And, I mean, look, no offense to you, but this ain't my first rodeo, and I've been around here 30 years, and I've seen a lot of coaches that have allegedly lost the program who haven't lost the program. But you only get those texts and those calls after you lose games. All those games when you were winning ugly and committing all those penalties and doing all those silly things that this guy's program has done, but they got away with, you loved him. So don't be a hypocrite, okay? And all this stuff about, and I dealt with it today in the blog because that's what we do. And I called it out today. Those of you that are making fun of this guy's appearance or calling him a hobo and saying that he, looks like Chumley from Pawn Stars, and he dresses like a guy on that you would flip a buck to on the street. I mean, come on now. Let's be better. Can we be better than that? John, are you surprised that people are talking about this man's appearance and stuff like that after losing the game, or is that kind of par for the course and how it goes when you lose and you get eliminated in the modern era?
Oh, it's very much par for the course. But it's not as though it's that bizarre when you consider the background and track record for college football fans.
Yep.
I can remember the first year I was here, and I'd worked in other places like in my home area in Baton Rouge. I was a columnist there for 5 years. Been in Jackson, Mississippi, Jacksonville, Florida. So I'm familiar with a lot of different fan bases, SEC fan bases in particular. So I know how they react. But still, I was taken aback somewhat. It was 87 was my first year here. I forgot Tennessee's record that year, probably around 9-2, something like that.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good year. But after a loss, and I don't remember which one.
Yeah.
Didn't have email back then. Somebody had left me a voice message. Johnny Majors should be fired. I mean, it was just. I thought it was.
Are they kidding? And are people kidding or?
No, he was serious. But I'm saying that I'm familiar with this, but even as familiar as I am with it, that still caught me a little bit off guard. It was that extreme. But if you go back to where Majors was at that point, 85, he'd just won the SEC championship. 86 wasn't a drop-off.
Yeah.
The program, he'd been there a while and hadn't been a great run. And when Johnny Majors came here from Pittsburgh, people expected a national title in a few years.
Mm-hmm.
He won one at Pittsburgh. He won a national championship there. He built a program that was at the very bottom of college football and made it into the program.
At Pitt.
At Pitt.
Out of nowhere.
I mean.
In like 4 years.
Yes.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah. He took it. It wasn't just good. It was dominant. It was exciting, entertaining, and so all that kind of stuff. But so this is just the way it goes. But what's happened here, and I wrote my SEC newsletter this week on how Clark Lee at Vanderbilt should be the most hated coach among his peers for what he's done, because this really helps fuel this instant anger, instant rejection of that everything is wrong.
Matt, our guy made a playoff last year. Yesterday we were talking about how he has a 5 o'clock shadow from September on, and he dresses like a slob. And multiple callers, Matt, and people over here on YouTube and people on Twitter, and I'm like, well, and then people text me going, well, he's lost the program. I mean, and Bino's like, look, if you want to be out on a guy, be out on a guy. You don't talk about his physical appearance. But, Matt, this is what we do when we decouple from people. What's up with our fan base? Why are we overreacting? Are we overreacting, Matt, to that loss the other night?
Yeah, but like John said, it's what fan bases do. You overreact to the negative, and you don't appreciate the positives and the wins quite enough. But that's not a Tennessee problem. It's just kind of I don't know. It's just a sports problem, really. And I'm guilty of it a lot of the times too.
You know what? You know what a Flyer podcaster called it? Because I like watching the Flyers, and they're terrible, and they've made the playoffs in a few years, but I still enjoy them, and it's kind of like what I do, and I grew up watching it, and whatever, to each his own. Guy called it trophy culture last night. He said we've made sports all about, if you don't win the trophy at the end of the year, you've had a bad season. He said that is total horse manure. Well, like you can't enjoy something like this year. So, you know what people were telling us the other night, John? Because you had a brief cameo. People said, somebody said, Tony, you're the one that said he looks like Chumley yesterday. Yeah, I said he's always reminded me of Chumley. But I didn't say his teams are sloppy because he looks sloppy. I didn't say that. So don't pin that on me.
What?
I did say he reminds me of Chumley from Pawn Stars in a very endearing way. He's always reminded me of Chumley. Or maybe like Jughead from Goober and the Ghost Chasers. But I'm not ripping the guy. Look, I look like any of a myriad of Muppets, depending on the day. Today I look like a tired, worn-out, red-ass Muppet for you. And you really want to know? All right, let's go back. So, John, here's the thing. This whole championship trophy culture thing is a great way of putting it. I heard Anthony Sanfilippo say this in Philly, one of my fellow Paisans. And trophy culture is a great way of looking at it. Like, it's the equivalent of saying that Rick Barnes here, okay, hasn't had a great run because we haven't gotten to the Final Four. 2 Elite Eights in school history, okay? There was one when he got here. He's been to 2 of them now. John, does that diminish Rick Barnes in any way that he hasn't hung a banner over there in Thompson Bowling Arena? Which, by the way, depending on where you're sitting, because of Danny White's Dumbotron, you might be able to see it or you might not, depending on which end zone you're in. Hey, Danny, Let them eat cake. What are you doing with your new Jumbotron where my son's in the 13th row last night and he can't see the other basket, Danny? He's in the 13th row of the upper deck. What are you doing? Are you trying just to run people out of there? Are you telling the plebes that they're the plebes and you don't need them? I mean, what are we doing, Danny? No offense. But go ahead, John, as I was saying.
Well,
championship culture.
Going back
or trophy culture.
Going back to where I was, though, it's always existed to some degree. Everybody, even when I first watched college football, wanted to be number one. Everybody wanted to chant, "We're number one." Everybody can't be number one, but that's what everybody wants. It's a dream. But now people like Clark Lee to go to Vanderbilt and you're in November. You're in November and you're playing in the SEC and you're Vanderbilt and you are still alive in the playoff hunt. Everybody looks at that like, well, if Vanderbilt can do it, why can't you? Why can't anybody? Indiana with Kirk Cignetti was a basketball school.
Oh, gosh.
Imagine if
how many guys he going to get fired, John?
Oh, imagine if Kentucky would have done if he'd have gone to Kentucky and done what he's done at Indiana. How many more coaches would have already been fired in the SEC? But that they're winning at places you aren't supposed to win. So it's part of the NIL transfer portal. It's made different teams players, championship contenders, and that's the world in which we live now. And more people are going to get fired. But the thing is, at some point, you really do run out of money. At some point, you just can't keep firing guys and paying them a buyout.
It's dumb. And like Matt said the other night, because Matt and I were talking about this before this happened, he goes, we lose this game, we're going to have all this moronic, you got to change your coach talk. And listen, it's moronic. I mean, let's have a conversation here. Hey, Matt, if Tennessee's job opened right now, okay, like some of these idiots want to happen, how far down the pecking order would we be? And how far down our list would we go before we hired a coach? We might end up with Jeremy Pruitt back here. I mean, do people understand that, Matt? Do they have any perspective on what they're saying? Any perspective?
This would be a really bad year to have a coaching search. Absolutely, and a lot of schools and fan bases are going to find that out probably the hard way over the next couple of years. But and I don't know if we necessarily call for a guy to get fired and want to change, but I mean obviously it's frustrating to the way the team's lost this year.
Sure.
You've kind of beat yourself more than you've gotten beat. But it's I mean this would be a really bad year to be in Auburn or in that Auburn, Florida, which is kind of where Tennessee's at in some the pecking order, so to speak. Yeah. You're kind of one of those teams, and this is I think a bad year to be one of those teams that's going to have a coaching search.
You rarely ever get the guy you want, even if it's normal.
That's
if there's
exactly
not
right.
that many openings out there, you rarely ever get the guy you want. You're always underwhelmed. Imagine this year.
And these days, Sean, you mentioned the guy at Indiana. The guy's got like a $90 million guaranteed contract. He's unhireable. Like, Texas isn't going to hire that guy. Like, who's going to hire that guy? All these guys, though. All of them. Like, everybody says, here's the thing yesterday. Well, this guy makes $10 million a year and he looks like a bum. John, what do football coaches look like, by and large? No offense to football coaches. What do they look like, John?
Well, I'm not saying
like university professors, doctors, attorneys, talk show hosts.
Oh, well, here's the thing: when things go sideways and you lose a game, there's just and I also think the increased betting on games, that has a big factor in this. You have people now following. As popular as college football is in the Southeast, and it's king in the Southeast, as popular as it is, you still have some newbies to the party. You have some people that really weren't that interested in it, and now they're betting on games. I had somebody say, we got to get a new kicker. Okay?
Yeah, got to get a new kicker.
Adam Sparks on our staff looked it up.
Yeah.
He's the most accurate kicker Tennessee's ever had.
Till it matters.
Well,
John. Okay, if I said to you, you're going to get like a stomach virus if he misses this kick, okay, would you want him kicking that or Jeff Hall, who's allegedly 15 points less than him on the charts, for your stomach virus? Who you want kicking the kick?
Yeah, I want Jeff Hall.
Thank you. Okay, well, that's all. I mean, we're just, but you are right.
But what I'm saying is, other than you talk about you missed a field goal against Oklahoma, and that was exacerbated by the fact that this guy in short pants for Oklahoma, Tate Sandell, is kicking the ball out of stadiums.
Yes.
He looks like he's in the NFL, the way he's kicking the ball.
By the way, I've got a viewing. We're going to do a little thing this year. Matt, I really want to track Stephen F. and Pearl this year after last night.
What happened last night with him?
They had a directional school cream puff they opened with and went to overtime. And because Stephen F. and Pearl's team went out and committed a foul on a 3-point.
At half court.
At half court on a 3-point shot, and the guy made all 3 shots. Who was the opponent, Brian?
Bethune-Cookman is who they played.
Oh, they went
They
to
did end up
overtime.
winning in overtime, but that's not the point.
And Dave is all over. He's all over Barnes. Dave declared 5 wins for last night. Hey, Dave. You need to calm yourself down, brah. I mean, I understand committing to the bit, and here's what the kid in Wisconsin says about me. He says, "I'm not here to tell you what to think, but you're all morons." Classic TB. Good Christ. I mean, no offense to you. Is he talking about Brian Rice? Is he talking about Brian Rice? Is he saying I got riced? What does that mean, Matt? But Brian Rice? All right, we'll come back on the other side. I don't tell anybody how to think. I never have. It's not my style, man. Are we overreacting a little bit to this?
I think you just overreacted.
Are we overreacting to the Oklahoma loss? And hey, people, listen. People are already saying that Josh Heupel's after the season not going to change any coaches on his coaching staff if they go 7-5. Leslie yesterday was in full freakout mode over a loss to Vanderbilt that hasn't happened. She declared, John, that if they lose to Vanderbilt, she's going to fire up her fire pit and throw her Tennessee gear from this era in her fire pit, like she burned articles of clothing. What were they, Bri? What were the shirts she burned?
She burned the Ite shirt that Jeremy Pruitt had.
Ite. And I think some Butch Please garments too, from the Butch Jones era.
I'd burn some asparagus in honor of Jeremy Pruitt.
Imagine what that smelled like. You ever get it? You eat asparagus?
Yeah, occasionally.
You get that asparagus, you know what?
No.
Begins with a P after this. You got to dream about buying some land and building on that land. Well, Waterside Contracting is your ticket. 25 years of making dreams come true, Michael Scott. For hundreds in our area, custom homes or remodels, Waterside Contracting will build on your lot. They do incredible work all over the area. Structural integrity, quality without compromise. It's a way of life with Waterside Contract. Check out the wonderful work Waterside does. WatersideContractingLLC.com. When it's time for your dreams to come true. Quality without compromising. Waterside Contracting. Preparing food for a big gathering can really take it out of you. That's why you need to call Calhoun's and check out their selection of party platters. Whether you're hosting a party for the big game, a reunion, or just an everyday gathering, a Calhoun's party platter is next level. Choose from Calhoun's always excellent chicken tenders, fly with Calhoun's wings, or boneless wings with a variety of dipping sauces, award-winning next level melt-in-your-mouth barbecue ribs, or delicious spinach artichoke dip, or get one of each.
Plus, if you're doing burgers or sandwiches, Calhoun's has lots of side dishes like spinach Maria, baked cinnamon apples, Smoky Mountain baked beans, or creamy coleslaw. Available in pints, quarts, and gallons. And to finish things off, pick up one of Calhoun's great desserts to go, including homemade cheesecake or key lime pie. Calhoun's, simply your go-to party headquarters. With 9 locations all over East Tennessee, you can order online and just pick it up. Calhoun's, one of the Copper Cellar family of restaurants, along with Chesapeake's, Copper Cellar, Corner 16, Cherokee Grill, and Smoky Mountain Brewery. Eat local, eat good. When it's time for your next move, you want to get your precious belongings from point A to point B with your peace of mind intact. That's why you need to call my friends at Gouffon Moving and Storage, East Tennessee's moving legend. Gouffon Moving and Storage has been helping East Tennesseans move since 1887. That's 138 years, 5 generations. That's even longer than the Dooley, Jones, and Pruitt era combined. Gouffon Moving and Storage, pro movers, serving Knoxville, surrounding areas, and interstate moves too, both residential and commercial. And we'll provide you with personalized service that other corporate movers simply cannot. We know how to move all types of items. We pay careful attention to our clients' valuables. Your satisfaction as a customer is our absolute priority. As the oldest continually owned and operated family moving business in the United States, when it's time for your next move, it's Gouffon Moving and Storage. And storage, it's secure and vaulted. Our newest offering of commercial storage logistics, we offer receiving, storage, and delivery services for all your business logistic needs. See more at Gouffon.com. That's Gouffon.com, or check out the link at tclub.team. When it's time for your next move, East Tennessee's moving legend, Gouffon Moving and Storage. Life never stops moving. And between the 30-minute commutes, daycare pickups, weekly soccer practice, Tuesday night yoga, X number of coffee runs, and that weekend trip to Grandma's, you're racking up the miles. What you need is a tire that can keep up. A tire designed for doers. A tire that's going to last. Like the exceptionally long-lasting Michelin Defender tire. With an 80,000-mile warranty and the safety and comfort you expect, you can forget all about the miles ahead and focus on getting to your destination or conquering your to-do list. Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. That's Fleet Tire, I-275 exit 1B at East Woodland Avenue in Knoxville. Fleet Tire.
Inward Half is committed to the game and the memorable moments that happen in between. From the tee box to the tailgate, from the green to the big game. For the first birdie with Dad, the first big win with Mom. Friday night lights, Saturday superstitions, Sunday traditions. Fall into the comfort and unparalleled performance of Inward Half. This fall, enjoy the walk-in.
Are you tired of hiding your smile because of crooked teeth? At Knoxville Smiles, we've got the perfect solution. Invisalign. No metal, no wires, just clear, comfortable aligners that straighten your teeth without anyone noticing. Eat what you want, smile with confidence, and see results in as little as 6 months. Call us today for more information about Invisalign, 865-539-1776, or just visit us online at KnoxvilleSmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Out-of-town law firms have been swarming into East